My beloved child, I need you to stop for a moment, not just physically, but with your whole being. Put the phone down. Let your shoulders fall. Exhale the pressure of today. This moment right here isn't casual. It isn't just another nice message or spiritual encouragement to scroll past. It's an appointment I placed in your path before this day even began. I didn't let you stumble onto this. I drew you here. I interrupted your routine because you've been moving too fast and feeling too numb. You've been pushing through your responsibilities like a machine, smiling at the surface, collapsing inside. The weight has been piling up quietly, the tension in your family that no one wants to name, the ache of praying and not seeing results, the loneliness that sits like a shadow even when you're surrounded by people. You manage it. You've kept going. But I didn't create you to just survive like this. That weariness in your chest, that moment you stood in the kitchen and stared at nothing, that flash of fear that hit you when the bills came due and the numbers didn't line up, none of that escaped me. I watched you absorb it all. I watched you shove your emotions down because there was no time to process them. And so, I step in. This moment is not just about encouragement. This is divine intervention. You've been hanging on by threads of strength and flickers of hope, and I want you to hear me clearly. I'm not going to let you drift another night thinking I haven't noticed. I'm not going to stay silent while the voices in your mind rehearse failure, fear, and fatigue. I will not let you sleep until you know why I've stopped you right here, right now. It's because I need your attention, not to punish you, but to pour something into you that the rush of life has drained away. You've been loyal to responsibilities, but now it's time to be loyal to your soul's need for rest and truth. Let's talk, just you and me. In this exact moment, I am sitting with you, not above you, not far away, not sending a representative but me. I see the actual life you're living, not the filtered version you show others. I know the weight you're carrying behind that smile, and I know what it's costing you. This isn't a vague interruption. This is the holy breaking of routine because your spirit has been quietly crying out for help. You've kept moving, but your inner world is tired. You need direction, not more demands. You need clarity, not more coping mechanisms. And child, you need comfort, not from someone who pities you, but from the one who built you. I have something to say that the noise has been drowning out. I've been trying to whisper through moments you were too busy to notice. In the silence of your commute. In the hesitation before you hit send on that message. In the ache you feel when you're lying in bed and wondering if this is all there is. That's when I came closest. That's when I leaned in. And now I am turning the volume up. You've been running in survival mode, but I'm calling you back into presence. I didn't interrupt your life to shame you. I'm here to realign you. I'm not showing up empty-handed. I've brought peace that overrides pressure. I've brought strategy for the next step. I've brought healing for the places that got bruised while you tried to be strong for everyone else. And no, this isn't dramatic. This is deeply personal. This is the Father heart of God saying, I've seen enough. I've waited long enough. Tonight, I'm speaking directly to the one I love more than they can imagine. So slow down, child. Don't rush past this moment. Don't tune me out. I'm not done. This interruption is just the beginning of something that could change everything. Child, listen closely. There are moments in life that whisper, and there are moments that thunder. This is one of the latter. I am not speaking softly tonight. I am leaning into your spirit with weight, with intention, with a voice wrapped in holy urgency. That restlessness you've been feeling isn't random. That sudden jolt of awareness in the middle of an ordinary moment that unshakable tension in your chest, that pressure behind your eyes when you're trying to hold back tears. Yes, that's me. This urgency isn't anxiety. This isn't your mind spinning stories. This is your soul recognizing that I'm speaking louder than the noise you've been used to ignoring. I am not here to entertain you. I am here to awaken you. I need you to know that something is shifting now. Not next week. Not after you get through the next thing. Not after life settles down. Right now. I have wrapped my message in urgency because you've waited long enough. You've waited for clarity while pretending you didn't need it. You've waited for peace while learning how to function in stress. You've waited for answers while training yourself to live with confusion. But the waiting is over. You've reached the threshold where divine timing and divine truth meet, and I won't let this moment pass by unnoticed. You've grown accustomed to delays, to not yet, to silence. But this is different. This is not silence. This is my roar. This is the urgency of heaven pressing into the atmosphere of your life to say, open your eyes, open your hands, open your heart. I am speaking now. You've been praying for breakthrough, but tonight, I'm offering you something even more potent, understanding. I want you to know why you felt the tension building, why your sleep has been thin and your thoughts have been loud, why you feel stretched in ways you can't articulate. Because you're standing on the edge of something new, and the enemy knows it. That's why the distractions have multiplied. That's why people have misunderstood you. That's why the pressure at work feels like it's squeezing the air from your lungs, and the relationships around you feel unpredictable and unstable. These aren't just life's normal fluctuations. These are tremors before a spiritual eruption. But instead of waiting for you to catch on later, I'm telling you now. I'm not just moving around you. I'm moving in you. This urgency you feel. It's my spirit summoning your awareness. The message I've hidden inside this moment is not just encouragement. It's instruction. It's a map to the next step. It's revelation that can't afford to be buried under routine. I'm not shouting for dramatic effect. I'm raising my voice because I see what's ahead. And I love you too much to let you walk into it distracted or unprepared. This urgency is love in motion. This urgency is protection. This urgency is me reaching through the fog of your busyness to say, the moment you've been sensing is here. And you don't have to be afraid, but you do need to be alert. Do not confuse this stirring for stress. Do not medicate it away. This is your spirit waking up to something your mind hasn't yet processed. And if you stay close, if you keep your spirit tender, I will unfold everything I've hidden in this holy interruption. Because the message isn't just urgent, it's yours. I've been watching. Not from a distance, not from some lofty throne removed from your everyday world, but from right beside you. I've seen you press through your mornings with a heaviness no one could see. You dressed it up with productivity. You masked it behind your responsibilities. But when the lights went down, when the voices quieted, when the screens turned black, that pain came alive again. It's the ache of being misunderstood by the very people you've poured your soul out for. It's the frustration of praying, believing, waiting, and still feeling like nothing around you has changed. I saw you in the grocery store parking lot, hands clenched on the steering wheel, eyes filled with tears because you didn't want to go home to more tension. I saw you stay quiet in the group chat because your joy couldn't keep up with theirs. I saw you holding it together in public while unraveling in private. You've been carrying silent pain like a secret burden, convinced that maybe it's just yours to bear. But I didn't create you to live like that. That's not strength, that's survival. And child, I didn't call you to survive. I called you to live. You've been bleeding internally while showing up externally, and I need you to know I'm not okay with it anymore. Not because you're failing, but because I've come to intervene. I've come to speak directly into the places where you've built emotional barricades just to make it through the day. You've walked with this pain long enough, and I'm here to lift it off your shoulders. Let's break the silence together. The pain you've tried to normalize that wasn't meant to stay. You've convinced yourself that this is just life, that everyone's overwhelmed, everyone's tired, everyone's lonely, so you should be able to handle it. But listen to me. I'm not everyone. I'm your God. I'm the one who knows the actual weight of what you've been carrying. I know the effort it takes to get out of bed when your spirit is worn out. I know the mental gymnastics you've had to perform just to keep a positive face. I know the conversations you rehearsed 100 times in your head because you didn't feel safe enough to actually say the words out loud. And because I know, I'm stepping in, not to judge you but to release you. This isn't a pep talk. This is deliverance. You weren't made to limp through your days pretending to be okay while your soul aches for relief. The pain ends when the truth begins. And the truth is, I've heard every unspoken prayer. I've sat with you in the silence. I've watched you hold your breath through nights of doubt and still choose to believe. And now, I'm doing what only I can do. I'm pulling you out of survival mode and into sacred restoration. No more smiling through silent storms. No more pretending that numbness is peace. This is the beginning of the unraveling of sorrow. And I'm doing it gently, lovingly, completely, because you've walked with silent pain long enough, and I'm not letting you take one more step carrying what I've come to remove. You've asked yourself the question more times than you'd admit to anyone. God, are you still with me? And I get it. The silence has felt like absence. The delays have felt like neglect. You've been trying to connect the dots between what I promised and what you see, and they haven't added up. You've opened your Bible looking for a word, scrolled through encouraging messages hoping one would pierce through the fog, replayed memories of better seasons just to remind yourself what my presence once felt like. And even in all that, the silence remained. But child, hear me. My silence was never absence. It was protection. It was strategy. It was timing. Sometimes I hold back the sound of my voice because I'm strengthening your ears to hear me in deeper ways. Sometimes I delay the visible move because I'm working on the invisible layers. I wasn't far, I was closer than ever. But I needed you to walk through this part not because I enjoy watching you suffer, but because I knew that what's next required a foundation deeper than you've ever known. You thought I left, but I was right there watching every tear fall, catching each one like treasure. And now, the silence is breaking, not because I'm just now arriving, but because you're ready to hear what your pain had no room to carry before. You were never abandoned. You were being refined. When your prayers felt like they hit the ceiling, I was strengthening the very faith that would one day move mountains. When your soul groaned with questions and no answers came, I was molding your endurance, purifying your motives, anchoring your identity in me, not in results. I needed you to know that my presence isn't proven by goosebumps or open doors or the feeling of joy. Sometimes my greatest work is done in the dark, when the noise is gone, and all that remains is the quiet ache of your trust. That's when I'm building something unshakable in you. You've confused the quiet for distance, but I was speaking in ways your spirit was too tender to process back then. And now that you've walked through the valley and your ears are more sensitive than before, I'm unveiling what's been growing in the shadows. You've asked, where were you? And I answer now, I was there the whole time, in the details, in the delays, in the depths you didn't understand. Don't resent the silence, child. Rejoice. Because the version of you that's emerging from this season knows me in a way noise could never teach. And what I'm about to reveal will silence every lie that told you I left. The silence is breaking, and with it comes the sound of destiny unlocking. I am not sending this word to soothe you. I am sending it to ignite you. This is not a lullaby. This is a divine spark. You've gotten used to calming messages and soft encouragement, but this moment is different. I'm sending this word like a flame because you've been smoldering beneath disappointment, and I'm here to set your soul on fire again. Not a fire of striving, not the kind of fire that exhausts you. This is the fire that revives, the fire that burns away what no longer belongs, the fire that says you are still alive. You still carry purpose. There's more for you than just surviving this week. I'm not waiting for you to feel ready. I'm not holding this back for when things get easier. I'm lighting the match now. Because you've been drifting, functioning but fading. Going through the motions while your passion for life quietly shrinks. But child, I didn't create you to live lukewarm. I didn't anoint you to live asleep. And so this word comes with fire. Holy, cleansing, awakening fire. To stir what life has tried to smother. To awaken the dreams you shelved because you didn't think they'd survive reality. I'm reigniting your spirit. Right here. Right now. And when this flame touches your soul, you'll feel it. It won't be dramatic on the outside, but inside, something will shift. That quiet heaviness will start to lift. That numb space inside your chest will begin to stir. This is what happens when my word catches fire in your heart. I burn through the walls you didn't even realize you built. I consume the lies you were told about who you are and what's still possible. This flame isn't reckless, it's precise. It targets the exact places you've lost hope. It reaches into the parts of you that stopped dreaming, that stopped asking, that stopped believing anything new could grow from here. This isn't just encouragement. This is combustion. It's the moment when everything turns, when what's been dormant starts moving, when what's been waiting in the shadows begins to shine. Don't dismiss this feeling that's rising in you as emotion. It's revelation. It's heaven breathing oxygen onto coals you forgot were even warm. And as this fire grows, clarity will return. Passion will return. Purpose will return. You are not who you were yesterday. This word has come to burn through the old and make way for the new. I am sending this word like a flame, because you're not meant to stay cold. You were made to blaze. My child, listen closely. This is not a metaphor, and it's not a hope for some distant future. This is a declaration. Right now, in this very breath you're taking, delay is breaking. The invisible weight that has held your promises hostage, the chains that seemed forged by time itself, are breaking. The things that once stood immovable in front of you are now shaking under the sound of my voice. You have waited. You have endured what felt like endless resistance. You've watched others move forward while you stayed stuck in the same place, questioning your value, doubting your discernment, wondering if you misunderstood what I said. You'd even began to think maybe it wasn't supposed to happen for you. Maybe what you dreamed was too big, too bold, too unrealistic. But I want you to hear me now with a clarity that no lie can distort. It was never about you being forgotten. It was about the weight of what I'm doing being so precise, so sacred, so deeply personal, that even a moment too soon would have fractured its fullness. But that moment has arrived. The delay isn't stretching anymore. The hold isn't holding anymore. The hand of divine release is opening, and the door you once stared at in silence is now unlocking, not gradually, but suddenly. You've cried out, "Why is it taking so long?" And I'm answering you with movement. You won't just hear about change. You'll feel it in your bones. You'll see it in conversations that once went nowhere. You'll witness it in decisions that once stalled out, suddenly gaining momentum. This isn't hype, child. This is holy acceleration. What has been long awaited is now being released with speed that doesn't make sense to natural timelines. And it's not just one thing. I'm touching multiple areas of your life at once. Your provision is shifting. Your connections are aligning. Your mind is clearing. The fog is lifting. The delay isn't breaking tomorrow. It's breaking right now. As you sit in this very moment, there are instructions being dispatched from heaven to angels assigned to your cause. What was blocked is now flowing. What was frozen is now thawing. The things that didn't respond before will now respond, not because of who you are, but because of what I've declared. This isn't about your perfection. It's about my promise. I am fulfilling the word I gave you, not because you earned it, but because you trusted me through the silence. And I want you to know something even deeper. The delay didn't just stretch your patience, it trained your spirit. And now that you've passed through the wilderness, you are entering the land of fulfillment. This shift will be loud to your spirit and undeniable to your enemies. What they thought was over, I am reviving. What they said was stuck, I am sending forward. Let this word burn inside you. The delay is broken, and it will never hold you again. You know what it means for heaven to lean in. Not just to glance your way, but to stop, to focus, to turn all of its divine attention toward you. That's what is happening right now. You have heaven's full attention. Every angel, every divine assignment, every ounce of my presence is aware of what's happening in your life. You are not one among millions. You are not just another believer trying to get by. You are known. You are marked. You are remembered. I've watched you remain faithful in moments that would have broken others. I've seen the integrity you carried even when it went unnoticed by those around you. I've watched you walk away from opportunities that compromised your peace. I've watched you lay down pride to protect your purity. I saw you give when you were hurting. I saw you pray when you had no words. I saw you forgive when your flesh screamed for revenge. And because of that, I am telling you now, all of heaven has taken note. Your name has echoed through the halls of the unseen. You may not have seen the recognition on earth, but in my kingdom, there hath been a consistent spotlight on your life. And it wasn't because of your performance. It was because of your posture. You might think your prayers went unanswered. You might think your faith got buried beneath your fear. But child, every single whisper you offered in the dark reached me. Every sacrifice you made when no one clapped, when no one texted, when no one acknowledged you, I recorded it. I was there. I didn't need applause to validate what I saw in you. And now, as the heavens prepare to release what has been stored up, I want you to understand this truth with depth. You are not starting over. You are standing in the reward of unseen obedience. There are blessings that are coming your way not because you asked perfectly, but because you stayed faithfully. You didn't leave. You didn't quit. You didn't exchange your covenant for comfort. And for that, the heavens are moving. Angels are being repositioned with instructions that carry your name. This season will not resemble your last, not because you've finally done enough, but because you finally understand just how seen you are. You don't need to strive to get my attention. You already have it. You don't need to perform to gain favor. It's already resting on your life. And from this moment forward, I want you to walk like someone who knows the eyes of heaven are locked on their steps. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are the focus of a divine unfolding that cannot be stopped. There are things I long to give you sooner. There were blessings I had wrapped and ready. There were opportunities positioned like open doors just waiting to swing wide. And yet I held them back. Not because you weren't loved, not because you weren't worthy, but because I loved you too much to watch you mishandle something sacred. What I've planned for your life carries weight. It carries influence. It carries eternal impact. And I needed your heart to be ready, not just emotionally, but spiritually, structurally, deeply. You asked me why it did happen back then. Why the doors stayed shut. Why the promotions were denied. Why the relationships fell apart before they began. You thought you were being rejected. But no, child, you were being preserved. What you didn't see was how your spirit was still fragile, how your understanding of identity was still entangled in the opinions of others, how your peace was still circumstantial, not yet anchored in me. And so I waited. I waited until your roots went deep enough. I waited until your yes wasn't based on emotion but on conviction. I waited until you were strong enough to carry the blessing without it crushing you. And now, I am placing it in your hands. What I withheld before, I'm releasing now. And you will know it's me because it won't come through striving. It won't come with confusion. It won't leave you wondering if you're good enough to keep it. This blessing, this opportunity, this outpouring, it fits you now. It aligns with your maturity. It won't flatter your pride. It will anchor your purpose. And hear me, it's not just one thing. I've layered this release. It includes joy, peace, resources, clarity, alignment, healing, and authority. I didn't delay it to frustrate you. I delayed it to protect you. And now that you are standing stronger, clearer, freer, I am trusting you with the very thing I dreamed over your life before you were born. I am entrusting you with something sacred because I see that your hands can hold it now. You've let go of what needed to be released. You've chosen me even when it cost you comfort. And now the weight of this glory will rest on your shoulders, not as a burden, but as a mantle. This isn't about catching up. This is about divine fulfillment. What I held back is now being placed into your hands. And no one, absolutely no one, can take it from you. Don't brush this off like it's just another nice word on your feed. Don't reduce this encounter to a passing moment of inspiration. I need you to feel the weight of what's happening here, right now, in this sacred pause between one breath and the next. This is not another feel-good message designed to get you through a tough day. This is a divine intersection, a holy collision between your exhaustion and my intervention. You've become so used to surviving, to scrolling, to hearing 1,000 voices in a day that you've started to lose your sensitivity to mine. But this moment isn't like the rest. This isn't another sermon. This isn't another voice in the crowd. This is me. Not through tradition, not through ritual, not through a second-hand source. I am speaking directly to you, and I will not let you minimize this. You've cried for me to speak. You begged for a sign. You said in secret, God, I just need to know you haven't forgotten me. And this moment, this very message, is my reply. But if you treat it casually, if you dismiss it as coincidence, if you scroll on like it's just more noise, you'll miss what's hidden inside the words. Because this isn't just a comfort. It's a turning point. This is the moment where your history and your destiny meet. The moment I pull back the curtain to show you that I've been orchestrating something far bigger than what your tired eyes could see. You may feel numb right now. You may feel like you're too broken to be moved. But that feeling of resistance, that sudden rise of emotion you did expect, that's me, child. That's the breath of my spirit stirring up the dry places, watering the weary ground of your soul. You've minimized your own value for so long that you've started to think maybe moments like this weren't meant for you. Maybe other people are the ones who get clear encounters and divine timing. But I need you to unlearn that lie right now, because this moment is for you. This timing is precise. This word is confirmation. You're not imagining it. You're not projecting it. You're not being dramatic. You're being seen. And I need you to take this seriously, not out of fear, but out of reverence for what I'm unfolding. This moment have been marked in heaven. Angels have been positioned. Pieces have been moved. Things have been withheld until this second. And I don't want you to miss it by treating it like it's ordinary. Because you are not ordinary. This isn't just inspiration. This is invitation. The next step begins with your response. Don't minimize what I've magnified. Don't tune me out when I finally turn the volume up. Stay here, child. Stay present. Something sacred is unlocking. You've been looking everywhere for signs, searching for something that would confirm what your spirit has been whispering for months. You've asked for a vision, a dream, a miracle, something big enough to silence the doubt. But I want to tell you something that may surprise you. What you've been asking for isn't far away. It's not some mystery still hidden behind a veil. It's been with you all along. I'm not about to show you something new. I'm about to reveal what's always been there. That's the beauty of divine clarity. I don't have to add anything. I just have to remove the fog. You've been surrounded by answers camouflaged as ordinary. Clarity hath been sitting in plain sight, but pain blurred your vision. Disappointment made you stop trusting your instincts. Tiredness dulled your sensitivity. You've been too overwhelmed trying to survive the day to see the clues I've left along the way. But that changes now. I'm removing the filters. I'm clearing the lenses. And I'm letting you see again. Not with natural sight, but with spiritual discernment. And when your eyes open, you'll realize you weren't lost. You weren't behind. You weren't forgotten. You were being prepared. There are things I've placed in your life. Relationships, opportunities, even delays, that you misunderstood because you didn't see the whole picture. You thought that closed door was rejection. It was actually redirection. You thought that conversation that ended in tension was a failure. It was actually a boundary being drawn to protect your next season. You assumed your stagnancy was a sign of punishment. It was actually me asking you to pause until the environment around you matched the weight of your calling. I'm showing you now that the way forward has always been beneath your feet. You've just been too weary to lift your head and look. But child, I'm tilting your chin upward again. I'm removing the noise that's crowded your thoughts. I'm highlighting things that used to feel mundane and marking them with meaning. You'll walk past the same street and feel peace this time. You'll read that journal entry and finally understand why I nudge you to write it. You'll hear that same worship song, but now it will echo differently in your chest, because revelation has caught up to your reality. I didn't leave you in the dark. I hid the light until your spirit was strong enough to handle what it would reveal. And now, I'm showing you what's always been there. Get ready to see with new eyes. Get ready to walk in places you thought were blocked. Because I haven't been withholding. I've been unveiling. And the unveiling begins now. You felt it, haven't you? That this moment was appointed, not accidental. And if this word opened your eyes, if it stirred your spirit, then hear me now. Carry this fire forward. Every super thanks you release is not a donation. It is a torch in my hand, lighting the path for another soul who's still stumbling in the dark. I've said give, and it will be given to you. And today, that word comes alive through you. You've prayed, Lord, use me, and this is your divine invitation. So into this mission, not to support a platform, but to spread my voice across nations, to interrupt someone else's night with hope. You can also give directly through the PayPal link in the video description. Your seed will not return void. Now act, live, give, and watch as I multiply your obedience into eternal harvest. You keep telling yourself it's still far off, that the breakthrough is coming someday. It may be in another season, another year, another life. It'll make sense. But I need to disrupt that thought today, because you're closer than you think. Closer to the healing. Closer to the clarity. Closer to the breakthrough you barely let yourself imagine anymore. The enemy has tried to convince you that nothing's changing, that you've been going in circles. But that's a lie rooted in exhaustion, not in truth. What you can't see in the natural has already been shifting in the spirit. You've been standing at the edge of change without realizing it. You've been brushing up against answered prayers and calling them coincidence. You've been experiencing divine disruption and labeling it as frustration. But child, take a moment and look around. Not with tired eyes, but with trusting eyes. The tension you've been feeling isn't stagnation. It's transition. The pressure isn't punishment. It's birth. You're not stuck. You're on the cusp. And I need you to stop underestimating how close you are just because it still feels uncomfortable. The closer the promise, the louder the resistance. You don't have to keep bracing yourself for disappointment. You don't have to rehearse the worst-case scenarios in your head just to protect your heart. I'm not leading you on. I'm not teasing you with glimpses. I'm drawing you forward, step by step, breath by breath. You've been walking faithfully with no roadmap, and now the next markers are being revealed. You're not lost. You're not behind. You're not too late. I've been timing everything with surgical precision, and now the alignment is in motion. I know you're tired. I know some days it feels like your prayers hit a wall. But I need you to trust me. The wall is thinner than you think. The door is closer than you know. What's been hidden is now nearing exposure. The people who have overlooked you are about to hear your name in rooms they didn't expect. The opportunities you thought slipped past you are circling back with force. And it's not because you figured everything out. It's because you stayed faithful when you could have walked away. You kept walking. And now you're inches from the moment that will make sense of the pain. You are closer than you think. So don't sit down here. Don't settle. Don't stop pressing in. One more push, one more prayer, one more breath, and what you've waited for will be visible. You've been fighting battles in your mind, in your body, in your relationships, and for a while, it felt like maybe the war itself was the proof you were failing. Like you did something wrong, missed a step, lost my favor. But I want you to hear me clearly right now. The war wasn't sent to destroy you. It was designed to distract you, to pull your eyes from what I've been setting up behind the scenes, to drain your strength so you wouldn't have the energy to notice the door I was opening. The enemy saw what I was about to release, and so he threw everything at you. Confusion, fatigue, old shame, random arguments, discouragement that made no sense, even weariness that hit you without cause. You started questioning things you used to be sure of. Your confidence wavered. Your discernment felt cloudy. And you thought something was wrong with you. But it wasn't. You weren't breaking down. You were under siege. And the goal wasn't to crush your faith. It was to steal your focus. Because if the enemy couldn't steal your calling, he would try to bury it under exhaustion. But I stepped in. I've drawn a line around you now. I've put my hand between you and what's been draining you, because it's time to see it for what it really was. That pressure wasn't punishment. It was proof that you were on the brink of something holy. You felt under attack because you were being noticed, not just by the enemy, but by heaven. The warfare increased because the release was near. You were getting closer to the promise, so the distractions got louder. The timing of your fatigue wasn't random. The sudden insecurity wasn't natural. That relational tension didn't come out of nowhere. You were being targeted, yes, but it was because your obedience has positioned you right where I need you. And now I'm exposing the lie. I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm showing you what the enemy didn't want you to know. You are closer to breakthrough than you ever imagined. The strategy was to get you to disengage, to give up before the shift. But look at you. You stayed. You didn't unplug. You kept showing up. You kept praying, even with a heavy spirit. You kept lifting your hands, even when your heart felt numb. And now, because you didn't fall for the distraction, I'm releasing a new level of discernment. You'll see clear. You'll respond slower. You'll stop giving your energy to battles that were never yours to fight. The war wasn't your identity. It was your indicator. An indicator that heaven was preparing something the enemy could never touch. And now, I'm giving you back what distraction tried to steal: your focus, your confidence, your joy, your clarity. The war didn't destroy you. It revealed you. That stirring inside of you that won't go away, that sudden alertness in the middle of the night, that tightening in your chest when you're doing something as simple as washing dishes or scrolling your phone, that isn't random. It's not just your nerves acting up. It's not burnout. It's not overthinking. That's me, child. That's the sound of my spirit nudging you, gently but consistently, because I need you to listen. I'm speaking through your restlessness. I've tried to whisper when you were at peace. I've tried to show you signs in the stillness. But the noise around you has been too loud. The pace of your life has been so constant, so filled with what's next, that I had to let the discomfort rise until you couldn't ignore it anymore. That ache you feel when you try to sleep, that unsettled feeling that something's missing. It's not fear. It's not confusion. It's me, reminding you that we have unfinished business. You're something I planted in you that's ready to come alive. But it can't grow in autopilot. It can't mature while your heart is distracted. And so, I let the unease linger, not to torment you, but to awaken you. I'm not speaking to punish. I'm speaking to pull you in, to remind you of who you really are. You've drifted a little, not in sin, not in rebellion, but in focus. You've gotten so caught up in fixing everything, in managing everyone, in keeping the pieces together, that you've stopped asking me the deep questions. You've stopped inviting me into the decisions before they are made. You're waiting for peace to return so you can finally feel spiritual again. But I'm telling you that peace isn't coming from a circumstance shift. It's coming from a surrender. I'm not asking you to change everything in a day. I'm asking you to stop resisting the restlessness. Let it speak to you. Let it lead you into a moment of pause. Don't run from it. Don't medicate it with more noise. Sit in it with me. Ask me what I'm saying. Ask me what I'm shifting. Because this isn't irritation, it's invitation. I'm reawakening your spirit so I can download instruction. I'm breaking through your emotional surface to get to the root. And when you stop long enough to let the restlessness speak, you'll hear my voice rising above it, saying, "You're not drifting. You're being drawn back to me. Don't resent the unease. Follow it. It's leading you into alignment. Everything that has felt hidden, quiet, and buried. Everything that's been growing in silence while the world clapped for others is about to be revealed. This is your hour of unveiling. And I'm not saying that lightly. This isn't a hopeful phrase to make you feel better about your weight. This is a declaration from heaven's calendar. It's time. The gifts you thought were too small to matter, the obedience you thought no one saw, the tears you cried while still holding on to your faith, all of it has been accumulating weight. Not wasted weight. Holy weight. I've been storing it, refining it, preparing it, and now I'm about to display what you've become in the hidden place. You've been faithful in the furnace, and I'm not going to let you stay invisible. But hear me, child, this revealing is not about popularity. It's about purpose. This isn't about applause. It's about assignment. I'm not putting you in front of people so they can admire you. I'm revealing you because they need what I've placed in you. What's been hidden is no longer just personal. It's part of a divine strategy to impact the lives connected to your yes. You thought you were behind, but you were just being built. You thought the silence meant I changed my mind, but I was fine-tuning your discernment. And now, the season of hiding has done its work. You don't need validation to move. You don't need clarity from men when you heard from me. You don't need to force your way into rooms. I will open the doors. I will speak your name in the ears of those who need to know it. I will make a way not because you campaigned for it, but because you carried something worthy of release. And as I reveal you, I will also reveal myself through you. They will see my nature in your resilience, my wisdom in your decisions, my grace in your humility. This revealing isn't about exposure, it's about embodiment. You are becoming the visible evidence of what obedience looks like. So don't shrink. Don't apologize for how I choose to elevate you. This is not about ego. It's about mission. And this hour, this window of time, is charged with divine release. I've waited until you were strong enough to carry it without compromise. And now, child, I will not let you be hidden anymore. This is the hour of revealing, and I'm not waiting any longer to show the world what I've been building in the dark. Let me break the lie right now, the one that's been whispering to your heart and trying to convince you that you missed it. Had the moment passed, that the opportunity slipped through your fingers while you were distracted, broken, or too slow to act. That lie has been creeping into your thoughts during your quietest moments, hasn't it? You've looked at your age, your timeline, the pace of others around you, and quietly asked, did I miss my window? I need you to know something as clear and as final as thunder across a silent sky. You didn't miss it. Not even close. You are not late. You are not behind. You're not too old. You didn't wait too long. And you didn't mess it up beyond repair. In fact, you're right on time. My timing isn't dictated by human standards or earthly clocks. It's rooted in eternal rhythms, divine patterns you often don't see until after the fulfillment comes. What you call delay, I call preparation. What felt like pause was actually alignment. You weren't being left out. You were being refined for longevity. I need you to really let that truth sink in. I've been aligning the scenery of your life for something bigger than a flash-in-the-pan blessing. You see, if I gave it to you when you wanted it, it would have excited you but exhausted you. You would have celebrated for a moment and then been crushed under the pressure of trying to sustain something you weren't yet ready to carry. That's not how I work. I don't tease you with glimpses of greatness and then disappear. I show you the promise and then prepare you to become the person who can actually handle it. You didn't miss it. You matured into it. The waiting wasn't wasted. That relationship that didn't work out, that job you didn't get, that door that slammed shut. Those weren't accidents. They were necessary routes. And even the mistakes you did make, yes, I saw those too. I'm using them. Nothing about your journey is random. Nothing is too far gone. The promise is not dead. It's on schedule. And just when you thought the clock ran out, I'm going to turn everything around and show you that this was always the appointed time. So breathe again. You didn't miss your moment. You stepped right into it. Do you remember what you prayed? Not just last week, but years ago. Those moments when you were full of passion, when you declared my word boldly, when you spoke promises over yourself even through your tears. I do. I was there. I heard every word. And now, I'm stirring those words back to life. Because you've forgotten. Or maybe you've grown so tired of waiting that you started to doubt they were even real. But child, they were. And I will not let you sleep on what you declared in faith. Those prophecies didn't evaporate into thin air. They were planted. And like seeds buried in soil, they've been growing beneath the surface, even while you stopped watching. You might have gotten discouraged, distracted, overwhelmed, maybe even cynical. But I haven't forgotten. And I haven't allowed your prophecy to expire just because your hope ran low. I'm bringing it back now, not to tease you but to fulfill it. I'm reigniting the dreams you shelved. I'm stirring up the words you once wept over. I won't let you sleep on your own prophecy, not because you're in trouble, but because your future still remembers what your spirit once declared. You've gone through so much since you first spoke those words. Life has changed. People have come and gone. Situations have worn you down, and the fire behind your faith has flickered at times. But even when your mouth stopped declaring, my spirit kept interceding. Even when your soul felt numb, your destiny didn't lose direction. I've been watering those prophetic words with my presence. And now, I'm waking you up, not to pressure you, but to invite you. Invite you back into partnership, back into belief, back into the boldness you once carried. You don't have to manufacture energy. You just have to say yes again. Say yes to the possibility. Yes to the promise. Yes to the you who once believed against all odds. I haven't changed my mind. I still want to do everything I told you I would. But this time, I want you awake for it. I want you fully present to experience the miracle when it arrives. This isn't just about remembering a prophecy. It's about walking into fulfillment. And I'll keep whispering, I'll keep stirring, I'll keep showing up in your restlessness. Because I love you too much to let you forget what I said. You won't sleep through this. You won't miss it. You'll live to see every word fulfilled. This next blessing, it isn't generic. It isn't one-size-fits-all. It's not random favor tossed from heaven like confetti hoping to land on someone. No. What I'm sending next carries your name on it. It was crafted with your tears in mind. Formed in response to your private battles. Molded with the shape of your calling. The timing, the size, the weight, the impact. It's all been customized for you. Not your neighbor. Not your mentor. You've looked at others receive their moment and wondered, will it ever be mine? And I want you to know, it's not just coming. It's arriving. I've wrapped this next move in so much intention that nothing can intercept it. You won't have to compete for it. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to manipulate situations or over-explain yourself. When it shows up, you will know. Because it will feel like peace. It will resonate with every part of who you are. It will bear the signature of your journey. And it will require no striving, just stewardship. I watched you weep and wonder if I even heard you. I did. I watched you wrestle with rejection and think maybe you weren't worthy. You are. And now, I'm releasing what I've reserved for such a time as this. And it's not just something small. It's not just a symbolic blessing. This is real, tangible, personal. It's the job offer that aligns with your calling. It's the conversation that opens a long-locked door. It's the confirmation you didn't even know you needed. And when it comes, it will settle something inside of you. Not because it completes you, but because it proves to you that I see you fully. You won't have to fight for it, but you will have to believe that it belongs to you. That you are worthy to receive something this good, this whole, this timely. I'm not blessing you to impress others. I'm blessing you to confirm your identity. Because, child, this isn't about hype, it's about heritage. What's arriving carries your name. Heaven has stamped it. And no one, absolutely no one, can take it from your hands. Let's clear this up right now, because you've been walking around with a weight that doesn't belong to you. You've been saying to yourself, I have to start over, like it's a sentence of shame. Like somehow, all the progress, all the growth, all the battles you survived don't count anymore. That's a lie. It may feel like a new beginning, but hear me, child. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from strength. You are stepping into this next season not as someone who's lost everything, but as someone who's been fortified by everything. I see the tears you've cried, thinking the detour erased your progress. I see the way you silently mourned the time you thought was wasted. But nothing has been lost in my hands. What looked like failure was actually formation. What seemed like delay was divine development. I didn't let you fall apart just to leave you empty. I allowed you to be stripped so I could rebuild you stronger. And you are stronger. Even if you don't see it yet. Even if your strength doesn't look like loud confidence. Even if it comes with shaky hands and uncertain steps. You're not who you were. And that's not just growth. It's preparation. You survived things that should have broken you. You've walked through silence and didn't stop praying. You stood in rooms where you weren't seen and still showed up with integrity. You've had to navigate grief while carrying others, and you did it with grace. You didn't always feel strong, but strength was forming in the background. Quietly. Daily. In your obedience. In your surrender. In your decision to stay the course when quitting seemed easier. So don't discount the depth you've gained just because the scenery looks unfamiliar. This isn't square one. It's a higher elevation. You're carrying spiritual muscle now. You're operating with insight you had to earn. You're standing on lessons you didn't read in books. You lived them. You bled for this strength. And that's why the enemy wants to convince you you're starting over. Because if you believe how far you've actually come, you'd walk with power. You'd speak with authority. You'd trust your own discernment. So let me say it again, louder this time. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from power-tested, fire-approved strength. This new chapter you're stepping into. It's not a punishment. It's not a reset because you failed. It's a release. It's the unfolding of what I've been preparing you for all along. And yes, it might feel unfamiliar, even scary at times, because it doesn't look like what you imagined. You might look around and see less support than before. Fewer people clapping. More silence than noise. But that's because this part of the journey isn't about being seen. It's about being sent. I'm sending you forward with intentionality. I'm sending you into a territory that's been marked for your voice, your presence, your anointing. And I had to make sure you entered it with a kind of strength that doesn't collapse under pressure. That kind of strength only comes through process, not popularity. And child, you've been processed. You've been through the wilderness. You've had to let go of people, patterns, and versions of yourself that were never meant to go where you're headed. It hurt. I know it did. But it was holy. And now, everything you thought disqualified you is the very thing that qualifies you for what's next. Don't let the blank page of this new season fool you. Just because it looks as empty doesn't mean you're unprepared. Just because the next step isn't clear doesn't mean you're lost. You're not building from ruins, you're building from revelation. You're not guessing, you're guided. My spirit is with you, not just in inspiration, but in instruction. I will lead you through every unknown. I will whisper wisdom when your plans feel fragile. I will confirm things before you even ask. Because I've been waiting for this moment too. I've watched you endure without clarity, and now I'm ready to reveal what the pain was preparing. This won't be like before. You're not going back to basics. You're going forward with blessing. And not just any blessing. Measured blessing. Tailored increase. Purposeful acceleration. And here's the best part. You'll be able to sustain it, because this time, you're walking in strength, not striving. And hear me. Others may not recognize what's shifted in you right away. They may treat you like the version of yourself they used to know. But you'll know. You'll feel it in your posture, in your tone, in your choices. You'll notice yourself pausing before reacting, asking me before speaking, setting boundaries that once terrified you. And that's the proof that you're not starting from scratch. That's the evidence of growth no one can deny. So stop apologizing for how long it took. Stop comparing your timeline to anyone else's. I do timeless work in my children. You're not late. You're right on divine time. You're not unqualified. You're chosen. And you're not broken. You're built. So rise up. Pick up your pen. Put your hands back on the thing you dropped when you thought it was over. This isn't the end. It's not even a restart. This is a launch. From a place of wisdom. From a place of boldness. From a place of quiet, grounded, God-breathed strength. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from me. You've seen things come close, so close you could almost feel them in your hands, only to watch them slip away again. You felt the sting of almost. Almost healed. Almost chosen. Almost free. You stood at the edge of breakthrough, breath held, only to watch the doors stay shut. And somewhere in that repeated pattern, a belief crept in unnoticed. That maybe this is just how it goes for you. That maybe you're the one who gets passed over. The one who learns to live with disappointment like it's a normal companion. But I need to say this with holy fire. I'm not letting this one pass you by. This isn't a recycled promise. This isn't a vague encouragement meant to soothe your pain. This is a divine guarantee. The blessing I am releasing in this moment, this door I am opening, this confirmation I'm sending, is not going to bypass you. It has your name on it. It was timed for this season of your life. It wasn't late. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't God. I've been holding it until your spirit was strong enough not to just receive it, but to sustain it. You won't miss this. Not because of luck. Not because of chance. But because I've anchored it to your obedience. You see, this isn't just about the thing itself, this breakthrough, this opportunity, this healing. It's about everything you've endured leading up to it. It's about the nights you stayed faithful when you felt ignored. The mornings you showed up when you had nothing left to give. The forgiveness you gave when bitterness would have felt better. The humility you chose when pride was justified. Heaven has recorded every single step you've taken when no one else was watching. And I don't forget that kind of obedience. I don't overlook quiet integrity. You were just surviving. You were planting. And now the harvest has ripened, and I'm ensuring it comes directly into your hands. This isn't a random blessing sent into the universe. This is a deeply personal release, forged in my heart with your exact situation in mind. I'm not letting it drift past you. I'm now allowing the enemy to intercept it. You won't need to manipulate or hustle to catch it. You'll simply need to recognize it and receive it. And let's be honest, part of you almost gave up. You didn't walk away, but your heart got tired. Hope started to feel expensive. Belief felt like a gamble you weren't sure you could afford anymore. But I want you to know that fatigue didn't disqualify you. Your weariness didn't break the promise. I saw you press through even when it felt robotic. I saw the tears you wiped before anyone else noticed. You kept showing up to the altar of prayer, even when it felt empty. And I've honored every step of that kind of endurance. That's why this one, this blessing, this shift, this favor, is coming directly to you. Not because you earned it, not because you proved something, but because you trusted me, even with a threadbare heart. And that trust, that raw, authentic trust, moved something in the atmosphere. It created a channel I can now flood with power. This is a not this time moment. The cycle of almost is breaking. The pattern of delay is ending. This time, the blessing is landing, and it's landing with precision. You don't need to fear it. You don't need to ask, but what if it slips away again? Because I'm not just giving you the blessing, I'm giving you peace with it. I'm surrounding it with confirmation. I'm wrapping it in peace that silences your doubts. I'm placing people in your path who won't question it, but will protect it. This is not the season of being tested in scarcity. This is the season of being trusted with abundance. So breathe. You don't need to brace for disappointment. You don't need to talk yourself out of receiving something good. I've seen the breaking. I've seen the surrender. And now I'm sending you the fulfillment. I'm not letting this one pass you by, because this isn't just a gift. It's a sign. A sign that I'm still the God of restoration. That I redeem the years you thought were wasted. That I keep my word, even when everything around you seemed to say otherwise. So when it arrives, when the call comes, when the moment unfolds, when the thing you didn't dare ask for is suddenly in front of you, I want you to take it. Don't delay. Don't second guess. Don't shrink. Receive it. Walk into it. Own it. Because I brought it straight to you. This is yours. And I'm not letting it go to anyone else. There's a reason your spirit has been restless. A reason your heart has felt unsettled, even on days that should have felt peaceful. A reason you've been waking up at night, not just from noise or stress, but from something deeper, something holy. That's me, child. I've been stirring you because I refuse to let this day pass without getting your attention. I've whispered, I've waited, I've even allowed silence to speak. But now I am speaking directly, because I will not let you sleep on this moment. I will not let you slide back into numbness. I will not let this message drift past you like all the other words you've scrolled past. Today is sacred. This word is sacred. I'm reaching into the middle of your ordinary day and declaring, you must see this, not with your physical eyes, but with your spirit. Because if you miss this, you'll go back to surviving, not realizing you were one decision away from shift. You asked me to show you what to do. You asked me to intervene. You asked me to reveal the next step, to make it clear. And I am doing that now, but not through a booming voice from the sky. I'm doing it through this moment, through the unrest that you couldn't shake, through the pull you felt to stop and pay attention. I let the uneasiness settle in, not to punish you, but to wake you. I've been calling you up and out, not because I'm angry, but because you've outgrown your current season. There's something in you that I refuse to let die in delay. You've been waiting on timing, but timing is waiting on you. I'm not speaking to shame you. I'm speaking to shake you. You've tolerated too much stagnancy. You've explained away too many delays. But you've also been waiting for permission to move. Here it is. I'm giving you full permission to step into the boldness you've prayed for, to act on the instruction I already gave you, to take the risk, to write the thing, to call the person, to shift the mindset. I'm not letting you sleep, not physically, not spiritually, until this gets your full attention, because the window is open, and it will stay open forever. This is divine timing. I've cleared obstacles, aligned opportunities, stirred hearts in your favor, and all that's left is your yes. Not a hesitant yes, not a maybe tomorrow, a right now yes. The kind that says, I don't have all the answers, but I trust who's calling. I know it's scary. I know you've been burned before. I know you've tried and failed and questioned whether you even hear me correctly. But child, you do. You know my voice. You recognize this stirring. You feel me in this. And you know deep down that today isn't like the others. So don't go to sleep on it. Don't dismiss it. Don't drown it out with noise or busyness or distractions. This is not another inspiration. This is instruction. And I've wrapped it in urgency because I love you too much to watch you coast through another day unaware of what I'm ready to do in your life. You said you were ready for more. You asked me to use you. You said you'd obey. This is me answering. This is me placing the key in your hand and saying, turn it. What happens next won't be accidental. It will be a direct result of how you respond to this moment. So don't delay. Don't rationalize it away. Let this message shake you awake. Let it disrupt the cycle. Let it shift something. Because I'm here. I'm speaking. And I will not let you sleep until you see this today. If your heart is still burning, that's me. And if this message kept you from sleeping on your purpose, then I am now inviting you to awaken someone else. Don't just receive this fire, send it. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing holy oil into a global flame I am fanning. I told you I wouldn't let you rest until you saw this. Now I'm telling you, this act of giving is your next step. You asked to be part of my work, and this is the answer in front of you. Your seed is not small, it is sacred, and I will return it to you in favor, protection, and peace that will shake your household with my presence. Now obey. Give. Partner with me, and let this moment echo in eternity. I want you to pause and respond. If this word stirred something in you, something deep inside you said, this was for me, don't let the moment pass. Drop this in the comments right now. I see it now. I won't sleep on my calling. Write it boldly. Declare it publicly. Because when you declare it, you seal it. And when you seal it, you activate what heaven is already releasing. Let this comment be your yes. Let it be your line in the sand. Let the world and the enemy know. You've seen it now. And you're not sleeping through this divine moment. My child, wait. Before you close your eyes, I must speak with you. I know you are tired. I know the day has been long, and you are searching for the release that sleep promises. But there is something vital you must see tonight. I have seen the weight upon your soul, the one you have tried to carry alone into the night. It's the pressure from your job, isn't it? The constant feeling of being one step behind, of never being enough. I see the unspoken tensions in your family, the conversations you avoid that still scream in the silence of your home. I feel that knot in your stomach when you think about your finances, that quiet panic about what the future holds, a fear you bravely push down every morning. You think you hide it so well that no one sees the effort it takes just to keep going. But I see it all. I see you trying to be the rock for everyone else, while inside, you feel like you are turning to sand. You cannot carry this into tomorrow. You were never designed to bear this weight alone, and my love for you is too great, too fierce, to let you try for one more day. The turning of your day into tomorrow is more than just the ticking of a clock. It is a holy threshold, a pivotal moment in your spiritual journey. Behind you lies the exhaustion and the disappointments of the day that is ending. Before you lies a clean slate, a new beginning that I am holding out for you. But you cannot step into this new day dragging the chains of the old one. There are truths I must anchor in your heart right now, before the noise and distractions of the world rush in to claim your attention. You must be grounded in my reality before your feet even touch the floor in the morning. The enemy, the adversary of your peace, has planned an ambush for you at dawn. He intends to greet you with the familiar whispers of your inadequacy, to remind you of every failure, to stir up anxiety about the challenges ahead. He wants you to wake up already defeated, convinced that nothing will ever change. That is his strategy, to steal your hope before you have even had your first thought. This is why I am interrupting your rest. My love for you is too proactive, too protective, to allow you to face the coming dawn unprepared. I will not let you walk into that ambush unarmed. Think of this moment not as a disruption to your sleep, but as the ultimate preparation for a true, deep, unshakable peace. The world offers a temporary rest for the body, but I am offering you an eternal rest for your soul. So listen to me. Let my voice be the last thing you hear tonight. Let my truth be the armor you wear into your dreams. I am here to recalibrate your spirit, to remind you of who you are, and to arm you against the lies that await you. Breathe in. Feel my presence wrapping around you. This is not a lecture. This is a rescue. I am intervening because you are mine, and I will not stand by while the enemy plots against your peace and your purpose. I am here to fortify you, to build a fortress of faith around your heart so that when the whispers come in the morning, they will find no place to land. My child, the most exhausting battle you fight is the one against the reflection you see in the mirror. You stand there and you see only brokenness. You see the cracks in your patience from the argument you had today. You see the pieces of a dream you had to let go of. You see the fracture lines in a relationship you treasure. But I need you to understand, when I look at you, I do not see a shattered thing. I see a precious vessel that I am in the process of beautifully mending. You see the flaws, but I see the opportunity. I am the master artist, and I am not throwing you away. Instead, I am taking the very cracks you despise and I am filling them with my golden grace, making you more beautiful, more resilient, and more capable of holding my light than you ever were before. Your history of being broken is becoming your testimony of being made whole by my hands. You spend so much time counting your failures. You keep a running tally in your mind of every sharp word spoken, every promise you failed to keep, every time you gave in to that old habit you swore you would conquer. You see these moments as permanent stains on your soul. But I see something entirely different. When I look at you, I do not see the failure. I see the forgiveness that has already covered it. I count the moments you have been redeemed by the precious blood of my Son. That moment of weakness you are replaying in your mind. It was nailed to his cross. That word you wish you can take back. It was silenced by his final breath. The forgiveness I have given you is not temporary. It is eternal. It is not partial. It is complete. I do not remember the failures you cling to, for the sea of my forgetfulness has washed them away forever. You see a debtor, but I see a debt that has been paid in full. In the quiet moments you feel so insignificant, don't you? A face in the crowd, a number on a spreadsheet at work, a voice that seems to go unheard even in your own home. You look at the vastness of creation, the billions of people on this planet, and you ask, do you even see me? Hear me now. Not only do I see you, but you are the very one for whom I would leave the 99. If all the hosts of heaven were singing my praises and every other soul was safe in my fold, and you alone were lost in the wilderness of your pain, I would leave the glory and the multitude to come and find you. I would call your name across the canyons of your despair until you heard my voice. You are not an afterthought. You are the one I pursue with a relentless, passionate love. You feel overlooked, but I tell you, the gaze of heaven is fixed upon you. You allow your past to define you. The mistakes, the wounds, the things that were done to you. You have built your identity upon that shaky ground. But that is not your true identity. I define you by the glorious future I have purchased for you at an infinite price. Your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. I am calling you forward into a destiny of purpose and promise that your past could never have predicted. While you hear the enemy's whispers of inadequacy, telling you that you are not smart enough, not strong enough, not good enough, I hear a different sound. I hear the song of a cherished child of the Most High King. And you see a sinner, hopelessly flawed and forever falling short. But when I look at you, I see a saint. I see you washed clean in the sacrifice of my Son, robed in a righteousness that is not your own, but that has been given to you as a free gift. This is how I see you, and it is time for you to start seeing yourself through my eyes. My precious one, I see you looking at the lives of others, and your heart grows heavy with comparison. You scroll through their pictures, you hear of their successes, and you wonder why your path feels so different, so much harder. Listen to my voice. Do not mistake the paths of others for the one I have designed specifically for your feet. I have not called you to their journey. I have called you to yours. Your blessings are not your blessings, and their trials are not your trials. To compare your walk to theirs is to invite frustration and to insult the unique masterpiece I am creating in you. Your journey has its own terrain, its own pace, and its own purpose known completely only to me. I am asking you to trust my wisdom in crafting a path that is perfectly suited for you, even when it winds through valleys you did not expect and over mountains you did not feel prepared to climb. Let go of the need to measure your progress against anyone else's. Your only focus must be on walking with me, right where you are. The journey I have for you requires a faith that you are only now beginning to discover. You have thought of faith as a grand, heroic leap in a moment of crisis. But more often, the faith I require is the quiet trust for the next single step. It is the faith to get out of bed in the morning when you feel hopeless. It is the faith to be kind when you have been wounded. It is the faith to give when you feel you have nothing left. I am not asking you to see the entire staircase. I am only asking you to trust me with the next step. This path I have carved for you will stretch your faith. It will grow it. It will strengthen it until it becomes a mighty shield. You feel you do not have enough faith for what is ahead, but that is the point. You will find that my strength is made perfect not in your abundance of faith, but in the moments when you feel you have none left and must rely completely on mine. This journey is designed to teach you reliance on me, not on your own understanding. Along this unique path, I have placed spiritual markers and signposts that you must learn to recognize. They are not always obvious. Sometimes, a signpost is a recurring theme in my word that seems to leap off the page at you. Sometimes, it is the wise counsel of a trusted friend that confirms what I have been whispering to your spirit. Sometimes, it is a door that I have firmly closed, a clear signal that you are to turn in a new direction. And sometimes, it is that deep, unexplainable peace that settles in your heart when you consider one choice over another. You must learn to pay attention. Slow down. The world rushes you, but I call you to be still and to observe. Your purpose is not some far-off destination you must race to reach. Your purpose is a way of walking daily with me, in intimate communion, listening for my guidance. The fulfillment you seek is found in the walk itself, not just at the end of the road. You look at the trials you are facing and you see them as detours, as frustrating interruptions to your life. You believe your real journey will begin once these troubles are over. That is a misunderstanding. These trials are not detours. They are the very terrain of the path I have set before you. The rough, rocky ground is what is strengthening the muscles of your faith. The steep inclines are building your endurance. The moments of darkness are teaching you to navigate by my light alone. Do not resent the struggle. It is my chosen classroom for you. I am forging your character in the fires of this affliction. So, stop looking for a map. Stop trying to figure out the whole journey from beginning to end. A map would require you to trust your own ability to read it. I'm asking for something far more intimate. I am asking you to stop looking for a map and start listening for my voice to guide your next step. Trust me. Take my hand. Let's walk this part of the path together. My child, you must be wise, for you are walking through a world that is an expert in illusions. It offers you things that glitter, but are not gold. The world offers temporary comfort that creates an eternal emptiness. It invites you to numb your pain, to distract your mind, to fill every quiet moment with noise and entertainment. Think of the hours you spend scrolling on your phone, seeking a momentary escape. It seems harmless, but it is a subtle poison. It promises connection but delivers comparison. It promises rest but delivers restlessness. It drains you of your attention, which is one of the most precious gifts you have to give me. These temporary comforts are a trap. They keep you from bringing your true pain and your true emptiness to me, the only one who can truly comfort and fill you. Every time you run to the world for solace, you are turning your back on the deep, abiding peace I am offering you. Be warned, my beloved. The applause of men can deafen you to my gentle affirmations. You work so hard for the approval of others, your boss, your friends, even strangers. A word of praise can make you feel seen and valued for a moment, but it is a fleeting high. The same voices that praise you today can criticize you tomorrow. The world's approval is fickle and conditional. If you build your sense of worth on it, you will live on an emotional roller coaster, constantly striving, constantly performing, constantly in fear of falling out of favor. I am calling you to a deeper security. My affirmation of you is not based on your performance. It is based on your identity as my child. My love for you does not rise and fall. It is constant, eternal, and unchanging. You must learn to value my whisper of "you are mine" far more than the world's roar of applause. Do not trade the eternal for the temporary. And we must talk about the pursuit of wealth. The world screams that your security is found in your bank account. It sets a trap that promises security but delivers only anxiety. The more you have, the more you have to lose. and the fear of losing it becomes a constant companion. The pressure to earn more, to acquire more, becomes a relentless taskmaster. It steals your peace, consumes your time, and tempts you to compromise your integrity. I am not saying that money is evil, but the love of it is a root that grows into a thorny bush of worry and greed. I am your provider. I am your source of security. I have promised to supply all your needs. When you chase after wealth as your ultimate goal, you are demonstrating a lack of trust in me. I want you to hold the things of this world loosely, to see them as tools for my kingdom, not as the source of your identity or your peace. The most subtle and heaviest burden you can choose to carry is the illusion of control. You believe that if you can just plan enough, worry enough, and work hard enough, you can manage every outcome and protect yourself from all pain. You create flowcharts in your mind. You play out every possible scenario. You try to control the choices and feelings of those around you. This is an exhausting and impossible task. It is like trying to build a dam against the ocean with your bare hands. You were never created to carry the weight of the world, or even the weight of your own life. I am in control. Your striving for control is a declaration that you do not trust me. It is the very definition of anxiety. I am inviting you to let go, to release your tight grip on the people and circumstances in your life and to place them into my sovereign hands. And finally, you must flee from the gossip and cynicism that seeks to poison the well of your spirit. Engaging in it, even just listening to it, is like drinking polluted water. It clouds your judgment, hardens your heart, and makes you critical of others. It separates you from my heart of grace. Do not build your house on the shifting sands of popular opinion, but on the unmovable rock of my word. That is the only foundation that will stand. My precious one, while your body rests, I want to pull back the curtain for a moment, to let you see what you cannot see. There is a battle being waged in the spiritual realms, and you are at the center of it. You are not forgotten or left to fend for yourself. While you sleep, my angelic hosts, mighty and terrifying to the forces of darkness, stand guard around you. They form a perimeter of protection around your home, your bed, your mind. Your impression of angels may be gentle beings with harps, but I tell you they are warriors, dispatched at my command to ensure your safety. The peace you feel in the middle of the night, the sudden calming of a racing heart, that is not a coincidence. That is the result of their faithful watch, a shield of my power that I have placed over you because you are mine. For every accusation the enemy hurls at you, my son stands as your eternal advocate. The accuser loves to whisper to you in the dark. He brings up your past failures, your present struggles. He tells you you are a hypocrite. You will never change. Look at what you did today. How could God possibly love you? He throws these accusations like fiery darts, designed to pierce your soul with guilt and shame. But what he fails to understand is that you have a defender in the highest court of the universe. When the accusation is made, Jesus, my son, does not argue. He simply presents himself. He shows the accuser his hands, his feet, his side, the evidence that your debt hath been paid in full. He silences every charge not with a defense of your actions, but with the proof of his sacrifice. The case against you has been dismissed forever. You are not defined by the accusations of the enemy. You are defined by the advocacy of your Savior. And know this, I am fighting for your family, for your future, and for your faith in realms you cannot perceive. You see the conflict in your home, the rebellion in your child's heart, the distance in your marriage, and you feel helpless. You pray, and sometimes it feels like nothing is happening. But your prayers are activating a spiritual reality you cannot imagine. I am contending for the heart of your loved ones. I am dispatching angels to disrupt the enemy's plans for their lives. I am working in their hearts, softening the soil, planting seeds of truth. The fears that attack you in the quiet hours, those sudden, irrational panics about your health, your children, or your future, those are not just random thoughts. They are arrows aimed at your heart by an enemy who wants to paralyze you with fear. And in those moments, I am your shield. I deflect those arrows before they can find their mark. I am your protector, constantly intercepting the attacks you never even knew were coming. The ground you gain in prayer is territory I have already conquered for you. When you kneel to pray, you are not trying to convince a reluctant God to act. You are stepping into a victory that has already been won. You are aligning yourself with my will and enforcing the enemy's defeat. Prayer is your way of bringing the reality of heaven's victory down to your circumstances on earth. It is an act of spiritual authority. Every time you choose faith over fear, every time you declare my promises over your situation, you are pushing back the darkness. So do not grow weary in your prayers. They are far more powerful than you know. Your spiritual safety hath been secured at an infinite cost, the very life of my son. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from a position of victory. Rest in that knowledge. Rest in the reality of the unseen battle that I am constantly waging and winning on your behalf. My child, you have been taught by the world that strength is in holding on tighter, in exerting more effort, in fighting harder. But in my kingdom, there is a divine paradox. Your greatest strength is found not in holding on, but in letting go completely. I want you to picture someone struggling in deep water. Your every instinct is to thrash, to fight, to claw their way to the surface. But in their frantic effort, they only exhaust themselves and sink faster. True rescue only comes when they stop fighting, when they relax, and allow the rescuer to lift them. This is the image of surrender I want you to hold in your heart. You are thrashing in the waters of your problems, trying to solve everything in your own strength, and you are sinking. I am your rescuer, right beside you, but I need you to stop fighting me. Surrender is not passivity, it is an act of trust. It is the wisest and most powerful move you can make. When you surrender your plans to me, you make room for my divine appointments. You have your life mapped out, your goals set, your timeline established. You present this plan to me for my blessing, but you are not truly open to my guidance. Your fists are clenched so tightly around your own agenda that you cannot receive the better thing I have for you. I see the whole tapestry of your life, while you can only see a single thread. The path you have planned may be a good one, but the path I have planned for you is perfect. It may involve turns you did not expect and lead you to places you never intended to go, but it will lead you to the center of your purpose and your deepest joy. Surrendering your plans is a terrifying act of faith, but it is the only way to ensure you do not miss the divine opportunities I have placed just off your self-made map. You must understand that surrendering your wounds to me is the first and most critical step toward their complete healing. You have wounds that no one else sees. Wounds of rejection, betrayal, and failure. You have tried to manage them on your own. You cover them up, you pretend they are not there, or you numb the pain. But a wound that is not exposed to the light and the air cannot heal. It will only fester. I am the great physician, but I will not force my healing upon you. You must come to me and surrender the hurt. You must have the courage to say, "This is where it hurts. I cannot fix this myself. I give this pain to you." The moment you do that, the moment you entrust your deepest hurts into my care, the healing process begins. I will pour the balm of my spirit upon them. I will speak my truth over the lies you have believed because of them. I will redeem that pain, and use it for your good and my glory. This is the key, my child, and I need you to grasp it. The moment you admit, I can't, you unlock the reality that I can. Your self-sufficiency is the greatest barrier to my power in your life. As long as you believe you can handle it, you will rely on your own limited resources. But when you come to the end of yourself, when you stand before a mountain and finally have the humility to say, I cannot move this, that is the moment my mountain-moving power is released on your behalf. Your declaration of inability is an invitation for my divine ability. So what is it that you can do? Forgive that person who wounded you so deeply. Overcome that persistent temptation. Face the future without fear. Name it now. Admit your powerlessness. That is not a confession of defeat. It is the prelude to a miracle. True surrender is not losing the battle. It is handing the battle over to the one who has already won the war. So lay down your weapons. Lay down your self-reliance, your pride, your playing, your worrying. And in their place, I will arm you with the unstoppable power of my Holy Spirit. My child, I must speak to you about the struggle you are in right now. I see it, and I know it feels like a crushing weight. You lie awake at night and your mind races, asking why. Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? You feel like the pressure is meant to break you, to pulverize your faith into dust. But I need you to lean in and listen closely. I have not sent this trial to crush you, but to draw you closer to me. You see, when life is easy, you feel strong and self-sufficient. You rely on your own wisdom, your own plans. But this pressure, this difficulty, it is stripping away that illusion of self-reliance. It is forcing you to your knees, and it is on your knees where you are closest to me. It is in the desperation of your I can't do this anymore that you finally open your hands to receive the strength that only I can give. This trial is not a sign of my anger. It is a severe mercy, an urgent invitation into a deeper intimacy with me that you would never have sought otherwise. So I want to gently change the question you are asking. The question, why is this happening to me, will only lead you down a spiral of confusion and bitterness. For my ways are higher than your ways. It is a human question, and I understand it, but it is not the most helpful one. I want you to start asking a new question. My Father, what are you teaching me through this? The answer to that question will unlock the purpose hidden within your pain. Perhaps I am teaching you a patience you have never known, a stillness in the midst of the storm. Perhaps, through your own suffering, I am developing in you a profound compassion for others who are hurting, so you can become a vessel of my comfort to them. Perhaps I am teaching you what it truly means to depend on me for your daily bread, for your daily strength, for your very next breath. Do not waste this season by only focusing on the pain. Search for the lesson. Ask me what I am teaching you, and I promise I will show you. I know that right now, this pain feels permanent. It feels like it has become a part of you, a new normal that you will have to endure forever. The enemy whispers to you that there is no end in sight. But I am speaking my truth over that lie right now. This pain has an expiration date. My love for you does not. This season of suffering is just that, a season. It is like a harsh winter that feels as though it will never end. The days are dark, the air is cold, and nothing seems to be growing. But you must trust that I am the Lord of the seasons, and spring is on my calendar for you. There will come a day when this trial is over, a day when you will look back and see it in your past. But my love for you, that is not a season. It is your eternal reality. It was here before the trial began. It is your anchor in the middle of it, and it will be there long after the memory of this pain has faded. Hold on to what is permanent, not what is passing. and you must understand the spiritual dynamic at play. What the enemy intended for your destruction, I am already turning for your ultimate good. Yes, the accuser has a hand in this. He saw a vulnerability and he attacked. He meant for this financial pressure to destroy your marriage. He meant for this health scare to shatter your faith. He meant for this rejection to make you bitter and isolated. But he is a fool. He does not understand my power to redeem. He does not realize that he is merely an unwitting pawn in my grand story of your redemption. I am taking the very fire he meant to consume you with, and I am using it to refine you, to burn away the impurities, to make you shine with a brilliance you did not know you possessed. He wanted to use this to destroy your testimony, but I will turn it into your most powerful sermon. He thought he was leading you to a dead end, but I am using this very path to lead you to a greater revelation of who I am. My beloved, I want you to open your spiritual eyes and pay attention to the people around you, for I am the Lord of relationships, and nothing in your interactions is random. Pay close attention to the new connections I am orchestrating in your life. Think about that person you met recently, the one who said something that was the exact answer to a question you had been praying about. Think about that new colleague who has shown you unexpected kindness, or that old friend who suddenly reconnected with you. These are not accidents. These are not coincidences. These are divine appointments, strategically arranged by me as part of my provision for you. I am placing people in your path who carry a piece of the puzzle you need, who will speak my truth into your life at the precise moment you need to hear it. Do not dismiss these encounters. See them for what they are, my love for you made tangible through another person. Be open, be receptive, and be grateful, for I am sending you helpers for the journey. At the same time, I am creating distance from relationships that hinder your walk with me, and I need you to trust me in this process. I know this is painful. You are feeling a slow, quiet separation from certain friends or family members, and you are trying to hold on. The conversations feel strained, the connection is fading, and you grieve the loss of what once was. Hear me, my child. Do not fight this process. You must understand that some people are assigned to your life for a reason or a season, but not for a lifetime. They were part of a previous chapter, but they cannot go where I am taking you next. Their comfort with the things you are leaving behind, the cynicism, the negativity, the lack of faith, will act as an anchor on your soul if you remain tied to them. Letting go is not an act of cruelty or judgment. It is a necessary act of obedience and self-preservation. You must love them from a distance. Pray for them always, but release your grip. I am pruning your relational life so that you can bear more fruit. I want to give you a tool for discernment. You must learn to distinguish between the people who feed your faith and the people who starve it. This is how you will know, after you spend time with them. How does your spirit feel? Do you leave their presence feeling encouraged, hopeful, built up, and more aware of my goodness? Or do you leave feeling drained, anxious, filled with doubt, or tempted to fall back into old ways of thinking and speaking? Your spirit knows the difference. It is the part of you that is most attuned to me. Learn to listen to its quiet signals. I am not calling you to a life of isolation, but to a life of intentional connection. Surround yourself with those who will run with you toward me, not those who will tempt you to sit down in the dirt. It is your responsibility to cultivate a garden of relationships that nourishes your soul. Be wise about who you give your time and your heart to. Remember this always. You are someone else's answer to prayer. As I place people in your life to help you, I am also calling you to be a vessel of my love to those I place on your path. The encouragement you feel prompted to give, the help you feel urged to offer, the prayer you feel led to pray for someone, that is my spirit working through you. You may be the only glimpse of my love that person sees this week. Do not quench that prompting. Do not reason it away by thinking you are not qualified or that you have nothing to offer. Your simple act of obedience can be the turning point in someone else's life. This is how my kingdom works. We are a body, interconnected and interdependent. I provide for you through others, and I provide for others through you. Embrace this beautiful responsibility. See every person you encounter as an opportunity to either receive my grace or to give it away. Trust my timing in all relationships, both in the coming and the going. I am weaving you together into a beautiful tapestry of love and support. My child, if there is one truth that I could burn into the very fiber of your being tonight, it would be this: you are never, ever alone. I want you to comprehend this not as a comforting thought, but as the most fundamental law of your existence. You have never taken a single breath outside of my presence. From the moment you were knit together in your mother's womb, through every joy and every sorrow of your life, to this very instant as you lie in your bed listening to my voice, my presence has been the atmosphere in which you live and move and have your being. You are like a fish in the ocean, completely surrounded by me, yet sometimes utterly unaware of the reality that sustains you. You are never moving toward my presence. You are only ever awakening to the reality that you are already in it. I know you are walking through a valley right now. For you, it may be a valley of grief, of depression, of fear, or of overwhelming circumstances. It feels dark and threatening, and you feel profoundly alone. You look ahead and see only shadows. This is what you must understand. In the valley of the shadow of death, I am not just with you. I am actively leading you through. I am not a passive observer of your pain, standing on the rim of the canyon and shouting down encouragement. Oh, I am down in the valley with you. My hand is on the small of your back. I am walking ahead of you, absorbing the brunt of the darkness, making a way where there seems to be no way. I am your shield against the unseen dangers lurking in the shadows. I am your guide, leading you step by step, even when you can't see the path, toward the light on the other side. The valley feels like your destination, but I promise you, it is only a passage, and I am with you in every single step of it. Your greatest mistake is that you often judge my closeness by your emotions. When you feel a surge of joy or peace, you think, God is so near to me. But when you feel numb, or sad, or anxious, you immediately conclude, God must have left me. I am alone. This is the oldest and most effective lie of the enemy. Listen to me, my presence is not a feeling. Your feelings will change like the weather, stormy one moment, sunny the next. If your faith is built on your feelings, it will be in a constant state of collapse. My presence is an eternal, unchangeable fact. It is a covenant promise, sealed in the blood of my Son. It is based not on how you feel, but on who I am. I am the God who stays. I am the God who promised, I will never leave you, nor forsake you. Whether you feel me or not, I am there. Your task is to learn to trust my promise more than you trust your feelings. So when you feel most alone, that is when you must learn to sense me most closely. It is in those moments of perceived distance that your faith is meant to go deeper. It is an invitation to stop looking for a feeling and to start looking for the evidence of my faithfulness, which is all around you. I am in the kindness of a stranger, the beauty of a sunset, the truth you read in my word. I am the God who stays when everyone else walks away. I was in your yesterday, orchestrating events you did not understand. I am in your today, speaking these words directly to your heart. And I am already waiting for you in your tomorrow, having prepared the grace and strength you will need for whatever it holds. So rest. Rest not in the fluctuation of your feelings, but in the unchangeable, unshakable, undeniable fact of my constant, loving, and powerful presence with you. Always. My child, when I ascended to heaven, I did not leave you as an orphan to fend for yourself. I gave you the greatest gift possible, my own Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to live inside of you. Yet you live as if you are powerless, as if you are fighting your battles alone. You must understand the nature of the Spirit I have placed in you. It is not a spirit of fear, timidity, or anxiety. The Spirit I have given you is one of power, of love, and of a sound mind. That overwhelming anxiety that tightens your chest is not from me. The spirit of fear is an intruder and a liar. I have given you a sound mind, a mind that can remain calm in the midst of chaos, a mind that can discern truth from lies. I have given you power, divine power to resist temptation, to endure hardship, and to overcome the works of the enemy. And I have given you love, a supernatural love for me and for others that can conquer bitterness and offense. This power, this love, this sound mind are not things you have to strive for. They are already dwelling within you, waiting to be activated. You have been ignoring the gentle nudges and promptings of my Spirit. You dismiss them as your own random thoughts, but they are my direct guidance. That sudden thought to pray for a friend who is struggling, that was my Spirit. That check in your heart that made you pause before you made a questionable decision, that was my Spirit. That urge to be generous to someone in need, even when you felt you had little to give, that was my Spirit. It's scripture that came to your mind at the exact moment you needed it, that was my Spirit. I am constantly trying to lead you, to speak to you, to guide you through these quiet inner promptings. You must learn to honor them. Stop reasoning them away. Stop being too busy to listen. When you feel that gentle nudge, act on it immediately. That is how you learn to walk in step with me, and it is how I will lead you into my perfect will for your life. I have given you spiritual gifts, tools for my kingdom, and you have been afraid to acknowledge them. You look at others who have more visible gifts, and you think, I have nothing to offer. This is false humility. I have uniquely gifted you. Perhaps you have the gift of encouragement, the ability to speak a word that lifts a heavy soul. Perhaps you have the gift of mercy, the capacity to feel my compassion for those who are hurting. Perhaps you have the gift of faith, the ability to trust me for great things even when it seems impossible. You have kept these gifts buried because you are afraid. You fear you will fail, that you will live fully or that you are not qualified. But these gifts are not for your own glory. They are meant to be given away to build my kingdom and to bless others. It is time for you to step out in faith and use the gifts you have been afraid to acknowledge. As you use them, they will grow stronger. Remember that the Spirit is your comforter in sorrow and your counselor in confusion. When your heart is breaking, He is there to wrap you in my peace. When you do not know which way to turn, He is there to whisper my wisdom to your soul. And in your weakness, He is your greatest help in prayer. There are times when your pain is so deep, your confusion so great, that you do not even know what to pray for. You can only groan. But I want you to know that your prayers are made perfect by my Spirit, who intercedes for you with groanings too deep for words. He takes your imperfect, stumbling prayers and translates them into the perfect will of the Father. You are never praying alone. You have a divine helper who ensures your every heartfelt cry reaches my throne. So rely on Him. Acknowledge His presence within you. Ask Him to fill you, to lead you, to empower you. Your Christian life was never meant to be lived in your own strength, but in the supernatural power of my Holy Spirit. My child, you feel the stirring of my Spirit within you now, and you have asked me, Lord, how can I use my gifts for you? This is one way I am answering you now. The resources I have placed in your hands are a gift, meant to be activated by faith. When you give, you are not merely supporting a channel, you are commissioning my voice to travel into the heart of another who is desperate to hear it. Every super thanks or membership is a vessel you send out, and I will fill it with the oil of my spirit to light a lamp in someone else's darkness. I have told you, it is more blessed to give than to receive, and in this moment, I am giving you a chance to walk in that supreme blessing. As you obey this prompting, watch as I sharpen the very spiritual gifts I have placed within you. Now obey the prompting. Release your gift through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description below, and partner with my spirit. My beloved child, we need to address the invisible chains you have been carrying. You look at your life, at your struggles, and you see the same patterns that were in your parents and their parents before them. You see the same short temper that was in your father. You feel the same undercurrent of anxiety that your mother always wrestled with. You see the same struggles with addiction, or debt, or broken relationships that have plagued your family line for as long as you can remember. And the enemy, the father of lies, whispers to you, "This is just who you are. This is your inheritance. You can never escape it." He wants you to believe that you are destined to repeat the failures of the past. Tonight, I am here to shatter that lie. The bondage that held your ancestors does not have to be your inheritance. Through the supreme authority of my Son, Jesus, and the power of his sacrifice on the cross, you have been given the power to sever these ungodly ties to the past. When you put your faith in him, you were not just forgiven, you were adopted. You were taken out of your old, broken family line, with all of its curses and patterns, and you were placed into a new family, my family. Your spiritual DNA has been rewritten. You are now a child of the Most High God, and your inheritance is not bondage but freedom, not lack but abundance, not fear but faith. You must understand this. The authority to break these chains is already yours. The curse stops with you. You have the power, in the mighty name of Jesus, to stand up and say, "No more." This pattern of anger stops with me. This spirit of fear does not cross this line. This legacy of lack ends now. It will not be passed down to my children. I am calling you to be a cycle breaker in your family line. This is a high and holy calling. It is not an easy one. It requires courage, faith, and a refusal to accept the status quo. It means you will have to fight battles that your parents and grandparents surrendered to. It means you will have to draw a line in the sand and defend it with prayer and obedience. But I want you to know that I am anointing you for this very purpose. I have chosen you to be the one through whom I establish a new legacy in your family. Where your family has known bondage, your descendants will know freedom. Where they have known strife, your line will know peace. Where they have known sickness and despair, your family will walk in health and hope. This is the new legacy of faith and blessing that I am establishing, and it begins with you. It begins with your choice to believe my truth over the evidence of your family history. So, you must start to walk in the new identity I have given you, not the old one that was passed down to you. When you feel that old anger rising up, you must stop and say, "No, that is not who I am. I am a child of God, and I have the fruit of the Spirit, which is patience and self-control." When you feel that familiar anxiety begin to grip your heart, you must declare, "I will not partner with this fear. My Father has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." You must actively and verbally reject the old patterns and embrace your new identity in Christ. This is how you enforce the victory that Jesus has already won for you. The chains have been legally broken by the cross. Now it is your job to walk as if they are broken. Step out of that old prison cell. The door is wide open. Walk into the freedom I have purchased for you, and in doing so, you will create a new path for all who come after you. My beloved, let us speak plainly about your walk with me. You are faithful in many ways. You come to my house on Sunday, you sing the Psalms, you listen to the message. That is good, and it pleases me. But I see your heart, and I know that so often, your mind is a million miles away. You are thinking about the to-do list for the coming week, rehashing a conversation from the day before, or worrying about a problem on the horizon. I am calling you to something so much deeper than that. I desire more than your Sunday service. I desire your daily, moment-by-moment fellowship. I want your Monday morning commute when you are anxious about the week. I want your Tuesday afternoon exhaustion when you feel you cannot go on. I want your Friday evening relief and your Saturday morning rest. I don't just want a slice of your time. I want all of you, integrated into a life of constant, ongoing conversation with me. You have been treating me like a formal appointment, but I am inviting you to make me your constant companion. You have fallen into the trap of religion, and it is exhausting you. You must understand the difference. Religion is man's attempt to reach me. A relationship is my gift of reaching you. Religion gives you a list of rules to follow, a ladder of performance you must climb, hoping to earn my favor. You try so hard to be good enough, to pray enough, to read enough, and you always feel like you are falling short. That is because you are. You can never be good enough on your own. That is why I sent my son. The relationship with me is not based on your performance. It is based on his. It is not about earning my love. It is about resting in the love I have already poured out for you. Stop trying to climb the ladder of religion. Let me carry you in the arms of a relationship. It is not about what you must do for me. It is about what you can be with me. I want to share the secrets of my heart with you. Did you know I have secrets? There are things about my nature, my will, and my plans for you and for the world that I do not reveal to everyone. I reserve them for my friends. I called Abraham my friend because he walked with me, talked with me, and trusted me intimately. A servant knows his master's commands, but a friend knows his master's heart. I am calling you out of the servant's quarters and into the inner chamber of friendship. I want you to move beyond knowing about me, knowing facts and doctrines, and commit to truly knowing me. This kind of intimacy is not found in a crowd. It is cultivated in the quiet, in the stillness, when it is just you and I. It is in those moments that I can entrust to you the why behind what I am doing in your life. This is why your quiet time with me is so vital. But you have been treating it as a duty to be checked off your list. You rush through a chapter of my word, you say a quick prayer, and you consider your obligation fulfilled. You are missing the entire point. Your quiet time is not a duty. It is a divine audience. It is a scheduled meeting with the creator of the cosmos, who is also your Abba, your daddy. It is, without question, the most important meeting you will have all day. It is where you receive your strategy, your strength, your peace, and your perspective. It is where your soul is refueled. I long for your worship, not the kind that flows from habit, but the kind that flows from a heart that is simply overwhelmed with love and gratitude. I am calling you deeper, my child, not to more religious activity, but to a more authentic, moment-by-moment intimacy. As this day draws to its close, I want you to bring it all to me. Every frustration, every failure, every moment of it. This day is done. I am wiping the slate clean. Think about it. The sharp word you spoke to your child or your spouse that you instantly regretted. The impatience you felt in traffic. The task you procrastinated on at work. the moment of fear you gave into, the unhealthy food you ate, the negative thought pattern you entertain. You are carrying the weight of these small and large failures into your rest. But I am offering you a divine reset. With the authority that I hold over all time, I declare this day complete and its record of wrongs erased by the blood of my Son. You do not have to carry its baggage into tomorrow. I am offering you my mercy, and you must understand that it is new for you at this very moment. My mercy is not a limited resource that you used up yesterday. It is an infinite, overflowing fountain. It is not just for the big, life-altering mistakes of your past. It is for the frustrations of the last hour. It is for the anxiety you feel right now. It is present, immediate, and tailor-made for what your soul needs in this instant. I want you to consciously receive it. Stop and say, I receive your mercy for, and name the specific failure that is weighing on you. Feel the release as you do. This is a real transaction. You are exchanging your failure for my forgiveness. You are exchanging your guilt for my grace. This is the power of the reset I offer. It is always available, and it is what will allow your soul to truly rest. And now, there is something you must do to fully experience this reset. You must let go of the offenses of others. As you lie here, your mind is replaying what they said, what they did. You are holding a trial in your mind, acting as judge and jury, finding them guilty over and over again. That bitterness is a poison you are drinking, and you are hoping they will get sick. But it is only harming you. It is robbing you of peace and keeping your heart in a prison of resentment. You must release them into my hands. You are not their judge, I am. I have seen what they did, and my justice is perfect. Your job is not to seek revenge or to hold on to the hurt. Your job is to forgive, as I have forgiven you. Forgiveness is not a feeling, it is a choice. It is the key that unlocks the door of your own prison. Verbally release them to me now. Hand them over. This is essential for your own peace. My child, this is a holy pause. This moment before you sleep is a chance to recalibrate your soul to the frequency of my grace. The world has spent the entire day bombarding you with its frequencies of fear, striving, and insufficiency. Now is the time to tune everything else out and sync your heart with mine. I want you to imagine yourself taking off the heavy, muck-caked boots of the day and leaving them outside the door of your rest. Inside that room is only peace, only grace, only my presence. You cannot enter true rest while still wearing the grime of the day. So, enter your sleep tonight not with the heavy baggage of today's regrets and tomorrow's worries, but with a spirit that has been washed clean, unburdened, and refreshed by my forgiveness. Let go. Surrender the day. Receive my pardon. Receive my peace. This is the divine reset. Accept it. My child, we must speak of the times when you call out to me and the only answer you hear is silence. I know what this does to your heart. You pray, you cry out, you beg for a sign, a word, anything, and you hear nothing. Your first, most human conclusion is that I have abandoned you, that I am angry, that I do not care. You feel an immense spiritual distance. Do not interpret my silence as my absence. They are not the same thing. Sometimes, my silence is one of my most powerful and purposeful tools. Sometimes, I am silent to test and to grow your faith. A faith that only operates when it receives constant answers and affirmation is a shallow faith. I am calling you to a faith that trusts my character even when you cannot trace my hand. A faith that believes in my love in the absence of evidence. It is in the silence that your spiritual roots are forced to go deeper, to find their anchor not in my visible works, but in my unchanging nature. Often, I am silent on a matter because I have already given you the answer in my word, and I am waiting for you to open it. You cry out for wisdom, for guidance, for a clear path forward. But the Bible I have given you sits on your nightstand unopened. You are asking for a fresh word from me when I am waiting for you to be obedient to the words I have already given you. The principles for your situation, the promises that cover your fear, the wisdom you need for your decision, they are waiting for you in those sacred pages. My silence is often an invitation for you to seek what I have already provided. Before you ask me to speak again, ask yourself if you have truly listened to and acted upon what I have already said. In the silence, I am teaching you to listen more intently and to trust more deeply. When I am speaking constantly, you can become lazy in your listening. You rely on the loud thunder of my voice. But when I am silent, you are forced to quiet your own soul, to tune out the noise of the world, and to listen for the still, small whisper. It is in the silence that you learn to discern my voice from all the others. Furthermore, it is in the silence that you learn to trust my heart. When you don't have a specific promise for your immediate situation, you must rely on your relationship with me. You must say, I don't know what he's doing, but I know him. I know he is good. I know he is faithful. I know he loves me. And that is enough. A season of silence often precedes a moment of profound revelation or breakthrough. I am preparing you for what is next. I want you to remember this image and let it comfort you. Remember the teacher who is always quiet during the test. A good teacher gives the instruction, provides the material, and then, during the examination, is silent. The silence does not mean the teacher has left the room. The teacher is there, watching, observing, believing in the student. This season of silence you are in may be a test. I have given you my word, my spirit, and my past faithfulness as your study materials. Now I am watching to see if you will apply what you have learned. I have not abandoned you. I am watching over you with a father's proud and loving heart, confident that you have what it takes to pass this test. So do not fear the silence. Lean into it. Trust me in it. It is not a sign of my absence, but a sign of my confidence in the work I am doing inside of you. My child, I see your heart. I see the places you have walled off, the old wounds you protect so fiercely. You think that by hiding them, you are keeping yourself safe. But the walls you build to keep the pain and also keep my healing out. I want you to know that the places where you have been most deeply wounded are the very places where I intend to pour my most potent and glorious healing. The wound of rejection you suffered as a child, the sting of betrayal from a friend you trusted, the shame of a failure that made you feel worthless. You see these as places of permanent damage. But I see them as empty vessels, waiting to be filled with my grace. My power is not drawn to your strength, it is drawn to your weakness. My grace is not attracted to your wholeness, it is attracted to your brokenness. Bring me your deepest wounds, they are the entry points for my greatest work in you. I am binding up the wounds that no one else sees. You are so good at putting on a brave face. You go to work, you care for your family, you interact with your friends, and you smile. But when you are alone, in the quiet of the night, the pain from those hidden wounds surfaces. People see your competence, but I see your insecurity. They hear your laughter, but I hear your silent cries. They see your present, but I see the past events that are still bleeding into your today. I am the God who sees, and I am the only one who can go to those deep, hidden places and perform soul surgery. I am the only one who can gently remove the shrapnel of a painful memory, cleanse the infection of bitterness, and stitch the wound back together with threads of my love. Trust me with the parts of you that you have trusted with no one else. You must change how you see your scars. You are ashamed of them. You see them as ugly reminders of your brokenness and you try to hide them. But a healed scar is a powerful thing. It is proof that the wound is no longer open, that it no longer has power over you. It is a sign that you survived what was meant to destroy you. In my kingdom, your scars are not marks of shame. They are testimonies of my healing power. I am going to transform your scars into monuments of my grace. Stories you will tell that will bring hope to others who are still wounded. When they see your healed scar, they will believe that I can heal them too. Do not despise your scars. One day, you will see them as the most beautiful parts of your story, for they are the places where my glory shines most brightly through you. Remember, my own son still bears his scars in his glorified body, not as a reminder of death, but as an eternal testimony of his victory over it. My healing is not like the world's healing. The world offers temporary fixes, bandages that cover the symptom, but never touch the root. I am the only one who can heal the root of the wound. I can go back to the very moment that trauma occurred, and I can speak my truth into that moment, replacing the lie you believed about yourself when it happened. I can redeem the years the locusts have eaten, and my healing is available to you right now. It is not something you have to wait for or earn. It is a gift, offered freely from my heart to yours. So, receive it now. I want you to stop analyzing, stop questioning, stop wondering if you are worthy. Just receive. In this holy moment, I am releasing a wave of my restorative, healing love. I command it to wash over every fractured, bruised, and broken part of your soul. Breathe it in. Let it saturate the driest parts of your heart. Let it mend what hath been torn. Be made whole, my beloved child. Be healed. My child, for so long you have been chasing happiness, and it has left you exhausted and disappointed. You must understand the difference between what the world offers and what I give. The joy I give is not happiness. Happiness depends on your happenings, on your circumstances. You think you will be happy when you get the new job, when your children are behaving, when you finally go on vacation, when your problems are solved. That kind of happiness is as fragile as a soap bubble. It is fleeting because circumstances are always changing. The moment something goes wrong, that happiness vanishes. I'm offering you something far more durable, far more powerful. I am offering you joy. And my joy is not a feeling that comes from your circumstances. It is a fruit that grows from my spirit dwelling inside of you. This divine joy is your strength, and it can flourish even in the midst of deep sorrow. This is a paradox you must embrace. You think you cannot have joy while you are grieving. You think you cannot have joy while you are struggling financially. You think you cannot have joy while you are facing a health crisis. But my joy is not the absence of pain. It is the defiant presence of me in the midst of your pain. Think of it like this. Your life is a deep river. The surface of the river can be a raging storm, with waves of sorrow, fear, and turmoil crashing about. That is your happiness, your emotions. They are on the surface, affected by every wind. But deep down, in the depths of the river, the current of my joy flows steadily, powerfully, and peacefully. It is untouched by the storm on the surface. You can be weeping with sorrow on the surface, while the deep river of my joy continues to flow within you, holding you, sustaining you, and strengthening you. Do not seek joy as a destination you will one day arrive at. You will not find it there. You must find it in the journey of obedience to me. It is found in the small, everyday moments of connection with me. It is found in a heart overflowing with gratitude, when you choose to thank me for what you have instead of complaining about what you lack. It is found in serving others, in taking your eyes off your own problems and becoming a vessel of my love to someone else. It is found in the simple celebration of my goodness, in a beautiful sunrise, in the laughter of a child, in a moment of quiet peace. Joy is not something you find, it is something you cultivate. You cultivate it by planting seeds of gratitude, obedience, and worship, and I will cause it to grow in your heart, regardless of the external conditions. This joy I offer is a deep, abiding contentment that is anchored in the reality of who I am. Your feelings are the boat, tossed on the waves of life. But my joy is the anchor, dropped deep into the bedrock of my unchanging character, my absolute sovereignty, and my unfailing love for you. The boat will rock. The storms will come, but the anchor will hold. So when your feelings tell you that all is lost, your joy will whisper, "But my God is still on his throne." To choose joy in a difficult time is an act of spiritual warfare. It is a defiant declaration to the enemy, to your problems, and to your own fears that no matter what your circumstances look like, your God is in control. It is a weapon that silences the accuser and glorifies me. So choose it now, my child. In the midst of your trial, lift your head and choose my joy. It is your inheritance, your strength, and your victory. My child, for too long you have lived with a victim's mindset. You speak about your life as if it is something that is simply happening to you. You feel powerless, tossed about by your boss's moods, your family's decisions, and the unpredictable nature of your circumstances. You see yourself as helpless. But tonight, that perspective shatters. I am here to remind you of your true identity. Through my Son and his victory on the cross, you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor in Christ. This is not a motivational slogan. It is your legal, spiritual reality. A victim is someone who is powerless to change their situation. A victor is someone who wields the power to shape their reality. You must stop thinking like a victim. It is an insult to the price that was paid to purchase your freedom and your power. I have given you authority in the name of Jesus to trample on serpents and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. You read these words, but you do not truly understand their practical application in your daily life. The serpents and scorpions are not just literal creatures. They represent the spirits of fear that whisper to you in the night, the spirit of anxiety that tightens your chest, the spirit of depression that tries to pull a gray veil over your world, the spirit of addiction that promises comfort but delivers bondage. I have given you the authority, the right and the power to put your foot down and command these things to leave your life, your mind, and your home. You are not a helpless bystander watching these things invade. You are the gatekeeper of your own soul, and you have the authority to deny them entry. You must start using the authority I have given you. When fear comes knocking, you must answer the door and say, "You are not welcome here." In the name of Jesus, you must leave. This requires a fundamental shift in how you pray. You must stop praying for victory and start praying from a position of victory. Your prayers often sound like the desperate pleas of a defeated soldier, hoping for a rescue. Oh God, please help me win this battle against my finances. Please help me overcome this fear. But my child, the war has already been won. The decisive victory was accomplished at Calvary. Now, you are not a soldier fighting a war. You are a peacekeeper, enforcing a treaty that has already been signed in the blood of my Son. So change your posture. Pray like the son or daughter of the King that you are. Rise from bedding and start declaring. Speak my promises over your situation. Command the mountain of debt to be moved. Your prayers should be faith-filled declarations based on a finished work, not fearful pleas based on an uncertain outcome. I want you to see yourself as I see you, as royalty. You are a child of the King of Kings. You have royal blood flowing in your spiritual veins. You have been endowed with kingdom authority. So why do you continue to crawl in the dust of self-pity and fear like a peasant? It is time to stand up. It is time to spiritually adjust your crown, to square your shoulders, and to walk with the quiet, unshakable confidence of who you truly are. Your words, when they are aligned with my word, carry immense power in the spiritual realm. They have the power to create atmospheres of peace and the power to destroy the works of the enemy. Use the authority I have given you. Forbid fear and anxiety from taking root in your home. Forbid strife from ruling your relationships. Walk as the royalty you are, for I have made you more than a conqueror through him who loves you. My child, listen to me. If you forget everything else I tell you tonight, remember this. Above all else, you must guard your heart, for everything you do, everything you are, flows from it. You think of your heart as the seat of your emotions, but it is so much more. It is the command center of your life. It is the wellspring from which your thoughts, your words, your decisions, and your destiny emerge. The enemy knows this. He is not primarily interested in your finances or your career. Those are just tools. His ultimate target is your heart. He knows that if he can capture and pollute your heart, he can control and corrupt your entire life. You must therefore become a vigilant soldier, a faithful guardian, standing watch over the fortress of your heart. You must be relentlessly intentional about what you allow to pass through its gates. What are the gates to your heart? They are your eyes and your ears. What you watch, what you listen to, and the people you allow to speak into your life are the gatekeepers that determine the condition of your heart. You think the things you consume are neutral, that they are just entertainment. They are not. Every show you watch, every song you listen to, every social media feed you scroll through, every conversation you engage in, they are all seeds. And you are either sowing seeds of faith, hope, truth, and purity into the garden of your heart, or you are sowing seeds of fear, cynicism, lust, and bitterness. You cannot sow seeds of thistle and expect to harvest strawberries. So I ask you, what seeds have you been planting? What have you been watching that stirs up discontent? What have you been listening to that feeds your fear? You must become a ruthless curator of your consumption. It is a matter of spiritual life and death. A polluted heart cannot hear my voice clearly. I am always speaking, always broadcasting my frequency of love, peace, and wisdom. But if your heart is filled with the static of the world's noise, the gossip, the outrage, the negativity, the impurity, you will not be able to tune in. You will cry out, God, why aren't you speaking to me? And I will be answering, I am, but you cannot hear me over the noise you have allowed into your soul. Guarding your heart is about keeping the channel clear. It is about intentionally creating a quiet, holy space within you where you can discern my still, small voice from the clamor of the world. Likewise, an anxious heart cannot receive my peace fully. You pray for peace, but then you spend hours consuming news reports designed to create anxiety. You are praying for one thing while actively filling your heart with its opposite. You must close the gates to anxiety-inducing content if you want to experience my peace. I want you to see your heart as one of two things: a cultivated garden or a dumping ground. A garden is a place of intention, of beauty, of life. The gardener is careful about what he plants, and he is diligent to pull the weeds. It is a place where my spirit can dwell and produce the beautiful fruit of love, joy, and peace. A dumping ground, on the other hand, is a place of chaos, toxicity, and death. People throw their refuse there without a second thought. It is a place that breeds disease. Many people treat their hearts like a dumping ground, allowing anyone and everyone to dump their garbage, their gossip, their negativity, their foolishness into their soul. I command you tonight, make your heart a cultivated garden for my spirit, not a dumping ground for the world's refuse. Be the guardian at the gate. It is the most important job you have. My beloved, I must speak to you about the disappointment that is weighing so heavily on you. The door you wanted to walk through has been shut in your face. It was the job you were sure was yours, the relationship you thought would last, the opportunity you had prayed for so long. And now that it is gone, your heart is filled with confusion and grief. It feels like a rejection. It feels like I have failed you. You must listen to my perspective. The door that just closed was not a rejection. It was my divine protection. I stand outside of time. I can see the end from the beginning. And I saw what was on the other side of that door. I saw the pain it would have eventually caused you. I saw the compromise it would have demanded of your soul. I saw the dead end it would have led you to. I shut that door not to punish you or to withhold something good from you, but to protect you from a danger you could not see. What you are experiencing as a painful rejection is, in fact, my fierce and loving redirection. Because you do not understand my reasons, you are still standing at that closed door. I see you there. You are jiggling the handle, peering through the keyhole, replaying what you could have done differently, trying to pick the lock with your own efforts. You are praying for me to open the very door that I have purposefully and sovereignly shut. My child, you are wasting your precious time and your emotional energy. You must accept my no. I know is just as much an act of love as my yes. You must trust that I know what is best for you, even when it does not make sense to you. I am commanding you tonight, with all the love in my heart, turn around. Stop looking back at the door that is closed. Forgive the people who you think closed it. Release the dream that was behind it. And start walking away from it, with your face turned toward me, trusting that I have something better in store. Because you have been faithful, because you have chosen to trust me even in your disappointment, I am now setting before you a new door. I am opening a door for you that no man, no demon, no circumstance can shut. This is my provision for you. This is your next season. Now, I must warn you, it may not look like the door you expected. You were looking for a grand, ornate door, and this one may look small and plain. You were expecting a door that led to a familiar path, and this one may lead in a direction you had never considered. Do not judge the door by its appearance. Judge it by the fact that I am the one who is opening it. For this door, no matter how humble it may seem, leads directly to the center of my will for you. And there is no safer, more fulfilling, or more glorious place to be. As you stand before this new, open door, you will be tempted by fear. You will feel unprepared and unqualified and unworthy. The enemy will whisper that you do not have what it takes to walk through it. This new opportunity will require a new level of faith and a deeper reliance on me than ever before. You must walk through it with courage. And here is my promise to you. I am not sending you into an unknown land alone. I have already gone before you to prepare the way. The grace you will need is already there. The wisdom you will require is waiting for you. The provision for the vision is on the other side of that threshold. All I need from you is your yes. All I need is for you to trust me and take that first, trembling step. Walk through the door, my child. Your future is waiting. My child, in the middle of your uncertainty, when your feelings are a storm and your circumstances are shaking, you need an anchor. You need something solid, something unmovable to hold on to. My promises are your anchor. They are not hopeful wishes or sentimental platitudes. They are sworn, unbreakable covenants, sealed by the very blood of my Son. You must learn to stand on them, to build your life on them, for they are more real and more certain than the ground beneath your feet or the air you breathe. I want to remind you of some of them tonight. Let these truths sink deeper than your fears. First, remember this. I have promised to work all things together for your good. Not some things. Not just the happy things. All things. That means even this painful situation you are facing right now. Even the mistake you made last week. Even the wound someone inflicted on you years ago. In your hands, these things may look like a tangled mess of threads. But in my hands, I am the master weaver, and I am taking the dark threads of your suffering and the gray threads of your failures, and I am weaving them together with the golden threads of my grace into a beautiful tapestry that you cannot yet see. Nothing is wasted in my economy. Trust my artistry. Second, I have promised that I will never leave you nor forsake you. This is one of the most foundational promises I have ever made, and you must let it settle your soul. I will not leave you when you are in the deepest valley of despair. I will not forsake you when you fail me for the 100th time. I will not abandon you when you feel completely and utterly alone. My presence with you is not a conditional reward for your good behavior. It is an unconditional covenant based on my faithful character. When you feel my absence, that is a lie from the enemy. You must speak back to that lie with my truth. My God has promised He will never leave me. Third, I have promised you a peace that surpasses all understanding. Notice, it is not a peace that comes from your understanding. If you wait until you understand why everything is happening, you will never have peace. It is not a peace that makes sense to the world. The world only understands peace as the absence of conflict. But I give a supernatural peace that can stand guard over your heart and your mind right in the middle of the storm. It is a gift. It is available to you right now, even though your problems are still unsolved. You do not have to wait for the storm to pass to have peace. You can have peace in the boat with me. Open your heart and receive this gift now. Fourth, I have promised you strength for your weariness and hope for your despair. I see that you are tired, so tired of fighting. I promise to be the strength of your heart. When you have nothing left, lean on me. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. I also see the places where hope has begun to die in your heart. I am the God of hope. I can resurrect dead dreams. I can bring hope into a hopeless situation. I promise to be your hope when you feel you have none. And finally, I have promised you a crown of life if you endure. This life is not the end. There is a reward waiting for you that will make every trial on this earth seem like a light and momentary affliction. Hold on. Endure. Your future is glorious and secure. These are not just words, my child. They are your reality. Believe them. You have felt the security of my promises tonight, and they are your anchor. This is your chance to be part of delivering that security to another soul lost in a storm. Do not let this moment pass. Your act of giving is a prophetic declaration that you believe my word is true. I promised, my word which goes forth from my mouth will not return to me void, and when you send a gift, you are sending my promises on a mission. Every super thanks you give is a seed of my promise, which I will cause to reap a harvest of hope in a life you may never meet. Because you have honored my word, I will cause my promises of provision and favor to surround your own household like a shield. Now act on this promise. Sow your seed of faith through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, and send my hope into the darkness. My precious child, I have given you a powerful weapon that you have been keeping hidden away. You are ashamed of it, or you think it is too small and insignificant to matter. That weapon is your story. It is the testimony of my faithfulness in your life. You must stop hiding the stories of what I have done for you. When I brought you through that difficult season, when I provided for you when you didn't know how you would make it, when I healed your broken heart, when I answered that prayer you thought was impossible. These are not just pleasant memories. They are stones in your arsenal. They are weapons for your current and future battles. It is time for you to unsheath this weapon and learn how to use it. Your testimony is a powerful force that silences the accuser. The enemy's primary tactic is to lie. He whispers to you and to those around you, God is not faithful. He will not provide for you. He does not heal. He has abandoned you. These lies can be convincing, especially in the middle of a trial. But your personal testimony is the undeniable, first-hand evidence that proves him a liar. An argument can be debated, a doctrine can be disputed, but no one can argue with your story. When you open your mouth and declare, I was in a hopeless situation, but my God made a way, or I was broken, but my God healed me, you are releasing a truth into the atmosphere that demolishes the enemy's lies. Your story is the hard evidence of my goodness, and it silences his accusations. When you declare what I have done, you reinforce your own faith and you build the faith of others. Every time you tell the story of my faithfulness, you are preaching a sermon to your own soul. You are reminding yourself of my character. You are strengthening your own resolve to trust me again. It builds a monument in your memory that you can return to when your faith is wavering in a new battle. And even more beautifully, when others hear your testimony, a seed of hope is planted in their hearts. The person who is in the middle of the very struggle you have come through will hear your story and begin to believe that if I did it for you, perhaps I could do it for them too. Your story becomes a lifeline for them. You have no idea how many people are waiting to hear the story that you are too afraid or too ashamed to tell. The part of your story that you are most ashamed of, the deepest wound, the biggest failure, the darkest season, is the very part that, when surrendered to me, becomes your most powerful sermon. You think that your past disqualifies you from being used by me. The opposite is true. Your past, when redeemed by my grace, qualifies you to speak with an authority on my mercy that someone who has never struggled in that way can never have. Do not waste your pain. Do not hide the story of your redemption. Let me turn your greatest mess into your most powerful message. That is my specialty. Remember what my word says. You overcome the enemy by two things, the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. The victory was legally secured by the blood of Jesus. But you walk in and enforce that victory personally when you open your mouth and testify to what he has done. Your voice has power, my child. It is time to use it. My child, let us speak about what I am asking of you next. It is not small, and it is not safe. I am calling you out of the boat of comfort and onto the waters of faith. You have grown accustomed to the boat. It is your comfort zone, your predictable routine, your stable job, your reliance on what you can see and control. It feels safe in the boat, but you must understand, nothing miraculous ever happens in the boat. I am not in the boat. I am standing on the waves of the impossible, in the midst of the wind and the storm. And I am calling your name. I am inviting you to a walk of faith that will defy logic and require a trust you have not yet exercised. It is time to step over the sign. The safety you think you have in the boat is an illusion. Your only true safety is with me, out on the water. You hear this call, and your heart is filled with fear. And you think the fear is a sign that you should not move. You believe you must wait until you are no longer afraid to take the step I'm commanding. If you do that, you will be waiting forever. Listen to me carefully. Faith is not the absence of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. True, courageous faith is feeling the terror in the pit of your stomach and acting in obedience anyway. It is taking the step because my command has become more real to you than your fear. I am not asking you to feel brave. I am asking you to be obedient. The feeling will follow the action, not the other way around. Your fear is shouting about all the things that could go wrong. My voice is whispering about the glory that will be revealed if you would only trust me. Which voice will you obey? You must stop waiting for all the answers before you take the next step. You want a detailed blueprint, a guarantee of the outcome, a risk-free plan. You are asking for sight, but I am calling you to faith. Faith is taking the first step even when you cannot see the whole staircase. It is trusting that I will reveal the next step only after you have taken the one in front of you. This is how I grow your trust in me, not in your own ability to plan and foresee. Your faith, even when it is small and trembling, pleases me more than your perfect performance or your flawless plans. I am not looking for your ability. I am looking for your availability. I am not looking for your strength. I am looking for your surrender. A mustard seed of genuine faith, a faith that acts without all the answers, is enough to move the mountains of impossibility that you are facing right now. And let us go even deeper. It is easy to have faith when I am giving you exactly what you have asked for. But I am looking for a faith that trusts me not just for a miracle, but a faith that trusts me even if the miracle you desire doesn't come. Will you still call me good if the healing doesn't manifest in the way you hope? Will you still worship me if the door you are praying for remains shut? Will you still trust my love if I say no or wait? This is the mature, unshakable faith that I am developing in you. It is a faith that is anchored in my unchanging goodness, not in my giving of gifts. It is a faith that loves me for who I am, not just for what I can do for you. This is the courageous faith that endures, that overcomes the world, and that brings me the greatest glory. And it is this kind of faith that I am inviting you into as you step out of the boat. My child, we must now enter the most important and contested territory of your life, your mind. The battle for your destiny, for your peace, and for your purpose is won or lost in the arena of your thoughts. You have been treating your mind like a public park, where any and every thought is free to wander in. Set up a tent and stay as long as it likes. You have been a passive observer of your own thought life. This must end tonight. I have called you to be a warrior, and your mind is the primary battlefield. Every day, a war rages between the truths of my word and the lies of the enemy. You are not a helpless civilian caught in the crossfire. You are the commander of that territory. You have been given the authority to decide which thoughts gain ground and which ones are cast out. You must take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. This is not a suggestion. It is a command, and it is an active, often violent, process. You cannot be a lazy gatekeeper. When a thought of fear, anxiety, impurity, or self-pity tries to enter your mind, you must act like a soldier on guard duty. You must challenge that thought. You must demand to know its origin. Where did you come from? Are you a thought of truth from my God or a lie from the enemy? If it is a lie, and you will know it because it will contradict my nature and my word, you do not entertain it. You do not reason with it. You take it captive. You bind it in the name of Jesus and you cast it out. Then, you must immediately replace that lie with my truth. This is your responsibility. I have given you the authority and the power, but you must wield it. You must understand that worry is a form of meditation. It is the act of focusing your mind, replaying scenarios, and giving your emotional energy to a particular thought. When you worry, You are meditating on the enemy's lies. You are rehearsing for a tragedy that will likely never happen. You are using the powerful, creative gift of your imagination to build a future of failure and fear. I call you to a different kind of meditation. I command you to meditate on my word, on what is true, what is noble, what is right, what is pure, what is lovely, what is admirable. Just as worry fills your heart with anxiety, meditating on my truth will fill your heart with peace. You must be as intentional about filling your mind with truth as the enemy is about filling it with lies. It is an offensive strategy, not just a defensive one. You fill your mind so full of my light that there is simply no room left for the darkness. As you think in your heart, so you will become. Your thoughts are the seeds of your actions, your habits, and ultimately, your character. A mind that constantly dwells on bitterness will produce a bitter life. A mind that dwells on fear will produce a life of paralysis. A mind that dwells on lust will produce a life of impurity. But a mind that dwells on my truth will produce a life that reflects my character, a life of peace, joy, and righteousness. Do not be deceived into thinking your thought life is private and inconsequential. It is the very root system of your existence. And here is the glorious truth. You do not have to do this in your own strength. I have given you the mind of Christ. By my Spirit who dwells in you, you have access to my thoughts, my perspective, my wisdom. It is your choice to access and use it. So tonight, evict the illegal squatters of fear and anxiety from your mind, and enthrone my truth as the rightful ruler of your thoughts. My precious child, you spend so much of your energy in the grip of anxiety about tomorrow. You lie awake, and your mind projects a future filled with 1,000 potential disasters. You worry about your finances, your health, your children, your job. You see a future that is uncertain and threatening. I want to lift your gaze tonight from the chaotic mess of events you see and give you a glimpse of my perspective. I hold the complete blueprint of all your days, from the first to the last. And I tell you, it is a masterpiece of hope and purpose. You are looking at a single, confusing page, filled with complex instructions you do not understand. But I see the whole book. I see the finished story. And I promise you, the author of your story is good, and the ending he has written for you is beautiful. Do not be anxious about tomorrow. I know this is easier said than done, but it is a command rooted in a profound reality. Your tomorrow is securely in my hands. Your worrying does not control the future. It only ruins your present. It does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows. It only empties today of its strength. Your anxiety is a form of atheism. It is a declaration that you believe your circumstances are more powerful than I am. You must repent of this. Surrender your imagined control over the future. It is an illusion. I am the only one who is sovereign over your tomorrows. I am already there, preparing the way, arranging the details, and weaving all things together for your good. You have heard this promise before, but I want it to become more than a verse you quote. I want it to become the bedrock of your life. The plans I have for you are for your welfare, for your peace and well-being, and not for your calamity or for evil. I am planning to give you a future and a hope. This promise was not just for Israel in their ancient exile. It is for you in your office cubicle, in your kitchen as you wash dishes, in your quiet despair in the middle of the night. You must believe that I am actively, intentionally, and lovingly planning for your good. My thoughts toward you are not thoughts of anger or disappointment. They are thoughts of peace. Even in discipline, my ultimate goal is your restoration and your welfare. I am for you, not against you. The world is full of tragedies. You see them every day, and you fear that your own story will end in tragedy. But you are not a character in a worldly novel. subject to the whims of a cruel or indifferent author. You are my beloved child, a character in my divine story of redemption. And I do not write tragedies for my children. The path I have for you may lead through the valley of the shadow of death. It may involve seasons of profound sorrow and loss. But I promise you, that will not be the final chapter. The final chapter of your story will be one of resurrection, of restoration, of reunion, and of an unimaginable joy in my presence. Your end will be better than your beginning. So trust the author. I know what I am doing. Your future is not a source of fear. It is a source of unshakable hope, because I am the one who holds it. My child, let us talk about worship. When you hear that word, you think of the 20 minutes of singing in church on a Sunday morning. You think of music, of lifted hands, of emotional experiences. And those things can be a beautiful expression of worship, and they please me. But that is only the prelude, is only the beginning. True worship begins when the music stops and you walk out the door. Worship is not just the songs you sing. It is the life you live in obedient reverence to me. It is a 24/7 reality, not a once-a-week event. I am calling you to a deeper, more holistic understanding of what it means to worship me. The greatest act of worship you can offer me is not a song, but your very self. I want you to present your body, your time, your energy, your talents, your choices, as a living sacrifice. A sacrifice in the old times was something that was killed and placed on an altar. I am asking for something much harder. I am asking you to be a living sacrifice. This means that every day you must choose to get off the throne of your own life and allow me to be king. It means sacrificing your desire for comfort to get out of bed and serve your family. It means sacrificing your right to be angry and choosing to forgive. It means sacrificing your time to listen to someone who is hurting. It means using your hands, your feet, and your voice as instruments of my righteousness in the world. This total surrender of your life, moment by moment, is your true and proper act of worship. Worship is also a weapon. It is declaring my worth in the face of your problems. When you are in the middle of a financial crisis, and you choose to lift your hands and declare, "You are my provider, and you are worthy of all praise," that is an act of spiritual warfare. When you have received a bad report from the doctor, and you choose to sing of my healing power, that is an act of spiritual warfare. When you are feeling anxious and overwhelmed, and you choose to declare, "You are my peace, and I trust you," that is an act of spiritual warfare. Your praise in the midst of pain is a defiant declaration to the forces of darkness that your circumstances do not have the final say. It declares that your God is bigger, stronger, and more real than any problem you face. This kind of worship shifts spiritual atmospheres. It confuses the enemy. It breaks chains. It is one of the most powerful things you can do. Ultimately, a heart of gratitude is the foundation of all true worship. You cannot truly worship me if your heart is full of complaining and bitterness. Gratitude opens the door to my presence. It changes your perspective. It takes your eyes off of what is wrong and places them on me, the one who is always right and always good. Worship, then, is the overflow of a grateful heart. It is the natural response to the recognition of who I am and what I have done for you. So I want to redefine worship for you. It is the integrity with which you do your work. It is the patience you show to your children. It is the kindness you extend to a stranger. It is the purity you maintain in your thought life. Whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for my glory. That, my beloved child, is true worship. My child, I see your weariness. I know you are tired of doing good, tired of making the right choices when it is hard, tired of serving, giving, and praying. especially when you see so little fruit for your labor. You are looking at the dry ground of your life, and you are tempted to stop sowing. You are tempted to give up. I am speaking this word to you tonight with great urgency. Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. You must understand that there is a divine law of sowing and reaping in my kingdom. Nothing you do in obedience to me is ever wasted. The harvest is certain. The only variable is whether you will persevere long enough to see it. The enemy wants you to quit one day before the breakthrough. Do not listen to him. Do not stop now. The harvest is closer than you think. Every prayer you have whispered in the dark, every tear you have cried over a wayward loved one, every dollar you have given when it was a sacrifice, every time you chose kindness over anger, every act of hidden service that no one else saw, those were not wasted efforts. They were precious seeds. You have been faithfully planting seeds of prayer, faith, and obedience. You have been watering them with your tears. It may look like nothing is happening. It may look like those seeds have fallen into barren soil and died. But I promise you, they have not. Underneath the surface, in the unseen realm, I have been causing them to take root and to grow. And there is a season of reaping coming for you. A season where you will reap with songs of joy the very things you have sown in tears. You will be overwhelmed by the sudden, abundant, and joyful harvest. I am a God of justice. I am not an unrighteous judge who forgets your labor of love. I see every sacrifice. I record every act of faithfulness. The service you have done in secret, the things you have done with a pure heart, with no desire for recognition from others. These are the things I treasure most. And I promise you, I will reward you openly. The world may not see your faithfulness now, but there will come a time when your life will be a public display of my goodness and my reward for those who diligently seek me. This is not a matter of pride, it is a matter of my integrity. I will honor those who honor me. So I am giving you a command of faith tonight. Prepare your barns. A season of abundance is coming, and I want you to be ready for it. What does this mean? It means to start acting like you believe my promise. Start making room in your heart and your life for the blessings you have been praying for. If you have been praying for financial breakthrough, start learning how to be a good steward of what you already have. If you have been praying for restored relationships, start clearing out the bitterness from your own heart to make room for reconciliation. This is not wishful thinking. This is an act of faith that pleases me and actually accelerates the coming of the harvest. And remember, the greatest harvest of all is the fruit of my Spirit growing in you. More love, more joy, more peace, more patience. This internal harvest is the prerequisite for the external one. So do not lose heart, my faithful laborer. The time to reap is near. My child, I must be clear with you about the nature of rest, because you have been seeking it in all the wrong places. I see your physical and mental exhaustion. You believe that true rest is a vacation, a weekend with no obligations, a night of uninterrupted sleep. And while those things are good and necessary for your body, they will never touch the profound exhaustion that plagues your soul. You can be lying on the most beautiful beach in the world, and your soul can still be in a raging storm of anxiety. Conversely, you can be in the middle of your most demanding week at work, and your soul can be in a state of perfect, supernatural peace. You must understand this. True rest is not the cessation of activity. It is the centering of your soul in me. It is not about your location. It is about the location of your trust. For centuries, I have been extending this invitation, and tonight I extend it directly to you in your weariness. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. This is not a historical quote. This is my personal invitation to you, right now, in your bed. You are weary. You are weary from trying to be strong enough for everyone. You are weary from pretending you have it all together. You are weary from the constant internal battle against your fears and insecurities. And you are burdened. You are carrying the weight of your own regrets, the weight of others' expectations, and the heavy, crushing weight of your worries for the future. I am commanding you with all my love, come. Stop trying to manage it all on your own. Bring me the weariness. Bring me the burdens. I am not asking you to get your life in order first. Come as you are, and I will give you this soul rest that you so desperately crave. The reason your soul is so tired, my beloved, is because you are constantly striving. From the moment you wake up, you are striving to perform, to please, to control, to fix, to achieve. Your mind never stops. You are trying to hold your entire world together with the strength of your own two hands. And it is exhausting you. The rest I offer begins the very moment you unclench your fists. It is found in the surrender of your striving. It is the deep, soul-level exhale that comes when you finally have the courage to say, I cannot, but I know the one who can. It is a rest that comes from intentionally abdicating the throne of your life, which you were never meant to occupy, and allowing me, the rightful king, to rule. The peace you are seeking is on the other side of your surrender. So let us make this practical, right now. I want you to see your worries not as problems to be solved, but as an offering to be given. Your worries reveal what you are worshiping, what you believe is most powerful in your life. By giving them your constant attention, you are magnifying them. I am inviting you to make a different offering. In your mind, I want you to gather up every single worry from this day. The conversation that went wrong, the bill that is due, the uncertain medical test, the conflict with your child. Gather them all up, and in an act of faith, place them upon my altar. See them as an offering of trust. As you release them to me, I will take them, and in exchange for your offering of worry, I will give you my gift of peace. Hand them over, my child. Cease your striving, and enter into my rest. My child, your heart is troubled by the instability of this world. Your job feels insecure. Your health feels fragile. Your relationships feel uncertain. The very foundations of your earthly life often feel like they are shaking beneath your feet. That is because they are temporary. I want you to lift your gaze tonight, beyond your immediate troubles, to a foundation that can never be shaken. Do not let your heart be troubled. You believe in me. Believe also that I have gone to prepare a place for you. Your current struggles are not the end of your story. Your true home is not here. You must begin to see your life through the lens of eternity. This world is not your final home. You are a citizen of heaven. You feel like a stranger here at times, like you don't quite fit in with the world's priorities and values. That is a good sign. It is because you don't fit in. You are an ambassador living in a foreign land. Your true citizenship, your true passport, your true identity is in my heavenly kingdom. When you understand this, it changes everything. It reframes your struggles here as temporary hardships on a long journey home. It makes the allure of worldly treasures grow strangely dim. It makes the call to live a holy life more urgent and more logical. You are living for a different kingdom, for a different king. In my Father's house are many mansions, and your room is waiting. I myself am the architect and the builder. I know you perfectly, and I have prepared a place that is perfectly suited for you. I want you to dare to imagine it. Imagine a day when I will personally wipe every tear from your eyes. a day where there will be no more death, no more mourning, no more crying, no more pain. A day with no more chemotherapy appointments, no more grief-filled funerals, no more heart-wrenching arguments, no more late-night anxiety attacks. A day where every loss is finally restored, every deep question of your heart is answered, and every wound is healed forever. This day is not a myth, my child. It is not a religious fantasy. It is your guaranteed future, purchased by the blood of my Son. This hope is the anchor for your soul, firm and secure, that will hold you steady through the storms of today. I know that your present suffering feels anything but light and momentary. It feels heavy, crushing, and unending. But I am giving you my perspective, the perspective of eternity. Compared to the endless ages of glory that await you, this entire lifetime of struggle is but a vapor, a blink of an eye. And it is not wasted. This light and momentary affliction is actively preparing for you an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison. Every trial you endure with faith, every tear you cry in trust, is producing in you a greater capacity for joy and glory in my presence. The deeper the valley of suffering you walk through here, the higher the mountain of joy you will stand upon there. Your present pain is not pointless, it is purposeful. It is enlarging your soul to be able to contain the weight of the glory I have waiting for you. So live today with an eternal perspective. It will change everything about how you see your present troubles. My child, we have talked of many deep things tonight. Now, as you prepare for sleep, I want to give you a few final, practical instructions. Do not just hear these words, do them. This is how you will walk out of our conversation and into my peace. First, I command you to cast every single one of your anxieties upon me, because I care for you deeply. I do not want you to just acknowledge your anxieties. I want you to actively throw them in my direction. Do it now, one by one. Verbally, or in the quiet of your heart, name them. The worry about your finances, cast it. The fear about your child's future, cast it. The anxiety about your health, cast it. Imagine you are throwing a heavy, burdensome stone into the depths of the ocean. Release it completely. I am strong enough to hold it. You are not. Second, you must verbally forgive anyone who has wronged you today. I know who it is. Your name is already on your heart. The wound is fresh. You are holding on to the offense, and it is acting as a poison in your soul, robbing you of the peace I am offering. You must release them into my hands for your own freedom. Say it out loud, even in a whisper. In the name of Jesus, I choose to forgive them. I release them from the debt I think they owe me, and I release them into your hands. This is not for them, it is for you. It is you choosing to walk out of the prison of bitterness tonight. Third, speak my promises over yourself and your household as you lay down. Your words have power, and I want you to align them with my truth. Declare, my God will work all things together for my good. Proclaim, He will never leave me nor forsake me. Whisper, I have a peace that surpasses understanding. Let my promises be the last sounds that fill the atmosphere of your room before you sleep. Seal your mind and your home with the truth of my word. It is a shield against the lies the enemy tries to sow in your dreams. Fourth, as Jesus did on the cross, you must commit your spirit into my hands. This is the ultimate act of trustful surrender. As you drift off to sleep, you are entering a state of complete vulnerability. You are releasing control. In that moment, consciously hand your spirit, your very essence, over to my keeping. Trust me to watch over it, to protect it, to refresh it while you sleep. I am a faithful guardian, and what is committed to me is eternally safe. Fifth and finally, you must make a choice. The day is done. The enemy has spoken his lies of fear and inadequacy to you. I have spoken my words of truth, love, and hope. Both voices have made their case. Now you must choose. Reject every lie and every fear that has tried to attach itself to you today. Verbally renounce them. Then, choose to believe this word I have spoken to you tonight. Faith is a choice, and this is your moment to choose. Choose to believe me. And now, my beloved child, as our time of speaking draws to a close for tonight, be still and receive my blessing. With all the authority of heaven and earth, which is mine, I now release over you a peace that the world cannot give, and a peace that the world can never take away. Let it descend upon your mind, silencing every anxious thought. Let it fall upon your heart, calming every troubled feeling. Let it settle deep within your spirit, anchoring you in a quiet confidence that I am in control. May my holy presence be a shield around you, a fortress that no fear can penetrate and no enemy can breach. May my glory, my own essence, rise up from within you, pushing out all darkness, all sorrow, all despair. I command my angels, the mighty warriors of heaven, to take their posts around your bed, to watch over you as you rest, to guard your every dream. You are seen. You are known. You are protected. And you are infinitely, perfectly, and eternally loved. May your sleep be sweet. May your body find its rest and its healing. And may your spirit be completely refreshed and renewed by me, so that you may awaken in the morning not with the residue of yesterday's struggles, but with the dew of a new beginning, ready to walk in the strength and the joy that are yours as my child. Now rest. Rest in the certainty of who I am, and rest in the glorious reality of who you are in me. My child, you have received my peace, and your soul is at rest. Now, from this place of fullness, I am calling you to let it overflow. I have commanded you, freely you have received, freely give. Your act of generosity is not a donation. It is a river of my peace flowing from your heart into the parched soul of another who is in turmoil. You have asked me how you can be my hands and feet. This is how I'm answering you now. This moment is not random. Your response to the peace I have given you will echo in eternity. I will take what you release and multiply it, causing my rest to guard not only you, but your entire household. And now, from your place of rest, act. Release this river of peace through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and partner with me in healing another soul. My child, as these words settle into your spirit, I invite you to take one final step. This is not for me, for I already know your heart's response. This is for you. It is an act of faith to anchor the truths you have received tonight, to draw a line in the sand between your past anxieties and the peace you now choose to walk in. Your spoken or written words have power. They give substance to your belief and solidify your resolve. Therefore, I want you to make a declaration. Let it be a testament to our time together, a public marker of the moment you chose to accept my divine reset. In the space provided for comments, I invite you to write with boldness this simple, yet powerful, statement. I will rest in Him. By doing this, you are not just typing words, you are making a covenant with your own heart. You are serving notice to the enemy that his reign of fear in your mind is over. You are encouraging a host of others who will see your declaration and be strengthened by your faith. Let this be the final seal upon our conversation, the amen to the promises I have poured into you tonight. Do this now, and step into the unshakable peace I have given you. I will see your declaration, and all of heaven will take note of the choice you have made. Amen. My child, please like, subscribe, and leave at least an amen in the comments.